Ready? Hey, YouTube. Wow, I actually hit the shit out of myself on that one. I probably shouldn't say shit. So hold on. Hey, YouTube. There we go. We're going to do a second cut. That one was on my lips, and now they're swollen. Hi, this is Second Wake. I'm Kareem Zamir. Those are the Seekers of Galanti. We just did the cut, but my other hand, I can't clap with. I'm not supposed to. I'm not supposed to bend my wrist or like put pressure on it. So yeah, hi. It's episode 39. Yes. Okay. Me and editing. Yeah, all that fun stuff. 2 weeks ago, the party did some final wrap-up at Fort Osen, some final bits of shopping, some walking around, some talking around, some figuring things out. And then, went about their business for their teleportation circle from Fort Osen to Fort Pale. So heading northeasternly through the steam fields, almost using the teleportation type effect from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, except whereas the small child became very little and then, bad stuff happened to them, the Seekers of Galanti were caught in what appears to be some type of living spell net, and were introduced to a very sociable, comedic individual, very handsome. Nothing spooky happened. And after a small stopover where they were just like, yo, dog, and they were like, yo, dog, it was, all to plan, and nothing bad happened to anybody. I think that's about as best as I can say that. The group arrive crashing down outside of a large porcelain tower, immediately were accosted by individuals citing themselves as knights and warriors of Silverhearth, and in the name of the king, told them to hold and yield. But before we get into all that, let's have a talk. Right here, first and foremost, let's have a talk. As the party is going through this spatial event, as they are traveling and traversing the various otherworldly dimensions through which they have been bound, and seeking out a single individual of the party, a group, a member of their team, has a wonderful voyage, tell you the truth. A very beautiful, splendid time. Morgan, as the teleportation circle goes off, you see this black bolt of eldritch lightning strike into the earth and begin to twist and turn, and the runes begin to change and inscribe. And in a flash, you look around, and you can feel sharp, cold wind brushing through your hair. You look and you can see the top of some great thing as you look out across the open ocean. You can see with your sight, several miles out, beginnings of an ocean that seem to peer off into a sight of beautiful trees that line a nearby coastal island. As you look across, you can see a white, stoned, and paled-looking tower that exists that you now stand atop of, and a smoking trail of arcane energy stands there. You look at this for a moment, and then the vision begins to fade partially from you. You see, for a minute, everything around you begin to grow larger, and yourself begin to feel a bit more snug. You look over, and in a flash, in these passing moments, you stand there, a small, or once was small, doll in your pocket, now quite larger and yourself much smaller, sitting on the grounds of this tall fortress. A moment passes, another still. Roughly, in fact, if I were to be a counting person, about 36 seconds of this strange instance of arcane fluctuation. And then, in a breath, in a pass, without panic, slowly, your body begins to regrow, and the small doll begins to shrink back down. You see a bright, blinding crash of white, black, and purple lights that seem to erupt out from the bottom and base of the area of which you are. You can hear this cacophony of thunderous energy boom and bust, as you then see, falling out of the sky, a very familiar group of ragtag individuals. And you stand there atop Fort Pale curiously and a bit out of sorts as you note a number of armored individuals descend upon your party from on below. What is it that you would like to do, Morgan?
Um, you said I'm on top of Fort Pale?
You are on top of a pale tower, yes.
Okay. Um, I guess I would try to find a way down.
Sure. You look around the area, the very top of the tower itself, and you can see that it is in states and various forms of disrepair. Where once this tower might have been well maintained, the top of the stone has now seen signs and telltale signs of corrosion. The very steep of it now seeming as if it's been left to time or to fall to ruin. As you kind of look over the area, you can see that there are a number of tattered remains of what appears to be various forms of storage that have been left at the very top of the tower. And you do find a closed, sealed hatch off to the kind of far right of your current standing area. It is currently sealed, but doesn't seem to have any locks facing on the outside.
Okay. Is there anything else of interest? Like, do I see any boxes or anything specific?
Yeah, you look it over. You can see at the very top of this tower there are a number of rolled banisters that seem collected and very much covered in not so much dust, but the kind of almost clinged, rotting moss that would accompany mold and mildew. Everything that's been left out here has very much been left to face and brave the signs of the elements themselves. You do come across a number of small barrels, and they look as if they've been broken into and seed for various kind of foul creatures and avian variety birds. Were meant to be fed or otherwise partake in this. It has now since been mostly picked, cleaned, and just in small sooted piles on the ground.
Okay. Let's try the hatch then.
Sure. You reach down, you grasp on the hatch, you hear dum 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 dum, and the hatch seems to be sealed from the other side.
How high up am I?
You walk over to the edge and you look down. You can hear people barking and shouting, swords being drawn from below. And as you pull the old thumb out and angle it down, your guess at this point is that you are about 7 stories up. So roughly 70 feet, give or take, closer to 80.
Would I notice anything on the hatch, like a latch or something that I can pry up or?
Sure. Give me an investigation check to examine a door. The one bane of every D&D player, a closed door.
That's a nat 20.
Well, we're starting it off great, so that's cool. You look it over and you can see that there are still cracks that run along the surface of the door. As you peer your elven eyes in the various cracks and darkness of the area, your low light and dark vision kind of slowly help you to examine and almost kind of do some proper detective work on the makings of this heavy hatch. While there are no outward-facing locks, you do note that the hinges for this large door are partially facing you. They're embedded in the groove of the door itself, but they would be accessible if you were to use thieves' tools or any type of small prying device.
Yeah, let me go ahead and use thieves' tools.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a thieves' tools check. Since you know exactly what you're looking for with a nat 20, you have advantage on the check. Move this over here.
That is an 11.
11? Okay, good enough to do. You spend some time, a couple minutes pass as you take out a very small kind of clawed tool. You extend it and kind of work, and you can slowly start tapping with a small pit and hammer to work the small pieces of the door out from where they've been sitting and rusted for some time. It takes some doing, but after a while you feel them slide free, and with a small push, the door starts crumbling down, and you hear it hit and slide and slam and bang around on every stone step beneath. We'll cut there. Coming back around. Seekers of Galanti, you find yourselves out of sorts, swords in your faces, and people barking orders and spanning the various names and nations of nobility of the nobles of Silverhearth. As they call to you, you see a man, helmet clad over their face, wearing heavy plate mail and having a small kind of tabard clung to the front of their armor, bearing the symbols and sigils of Silverhearth, sword drawn out. They again call to you, and they state your business, travelers from on high. The god of the prince's army calls to you now of your foul witchcraft. For what have you came?
We come meaning no harm. We come to aid you. We were teleporting from Fort Ozen. Something happened.
Teleporting from Fort Ozen? There's no teleportation that would direct you here. Where have you come from, truly?
Fort Ozen.
You see them kind of like narrow, like you can feel the glare, and you can feel a number of individuals that seem to kind of not bemoan, but don't seem fully trusting of you. They look you over and they go, you say you ought to help us. Where's your commanding officer?
That would be me.
You see there's like an uneasiness in this, and a few of them kind of like slowly kind of back off, but many of them keep their swords drawn. The individual who is speaking pulls back their head a bit from this conversation, and they turn, and you hear them mutter off to another kind of like armored individual. You hear, "Fetch Sir D'Artagnan immediately." You kind of see the person give a nod, a small salute, kind of a fist over their chest, and they rush off. He turns back and goes, I must apologize for our initial reaction here, but there is war quite prevalent afoot, and we are lacking a number of our chief veteran officers at this time. Strange occurrences at the tower, and our, well, lack of permission to station within the fort proper has had us a bit on edge. You'll speak to Sir D'Artagnan, and he will determine your cause for truly being here. I assume you don't mind the wait?
We're here to help, so whatever proof and who we need to speak to is quite all right.
He turns and looks to the rest of the men that are here, turns back, looks to you, and goes, "Are you armed? We assure you that, and have your assurances that you will not draw upon us."
I promise you we are here as friends and allies. We will not draw our weapons upon you.
Very good, then. And he goes, "At ease," and he waves his hand, sheathes his sword. All of them sheathe their various long swords and small armaments. The individual goes to head off to fetch this officer, and we will cut back to Morgan. Morgan, the door sits open now. You can see a long stone staircase that runs the length of the area. With your perception, your half-elven ears twitch, and you can hear voices and shouting from down below. Seeming a number of people have been made aware and alert of your presence at the very top of the tower. What would you like to do?
I mean, if they already know I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Do the stairs look dangerous at all, or?
I mean, if you put a blindfold on, they'd be horrifyingly dangerous. But you're pretty proficient at walking, so.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll make my way down.
Okay. You make your way down these stone steps. You walk, and you can see the once kind of hatched door that you've loosened, now kind of like stuck partway at the bend in the stairs as these spiral stairs kind of descend lower into the fort proper. You hear a clicking sound as you near the corner, and you can see shadows drawn long before the end of the curve. And you can hear someone readying a crossbow. Your ears have heard the sound many times. Being that you're not stealthing or you're not trying to hide yourself, you do hear them call out in a kind of gruff, almost crowded type of vocal pattern. And you hear, "You there? On the stairs. We know you're there. Come out. Hands up. And do not be pincushion today.
Well, I don't want to be pincushion, so I absolutely will.
Good. You come out, hands up, walk around the corner. You see 3 large, kind of heavy set, and I'm talking like dad bod at a barbecue, orcish individuals, full-blooded orcish individuals wearing nothing but leather jerkins, sat around what appears to be kind of like the makings of a card table. And one of them is holding a heavy crossbow that has a single bolt in it. And you look around and you can see that there is another one that is holding a small satchel of bolts and was presently handing one to the guy with the weapon. And he kind of like looks to you and holds this crossbow. Just on base insight alone, you can tell there's an uneasiness and a shakiness in his hands. Obviously not prepared and not mentally there for having to draw on somebody at this present time. But calls out to you and goes, You're not all there. Who do you swear allegiance to?
Sorry, I'm not all there. What does that mean?
Your face. Your skin. It's like those from the north. But your ears, they're different. Are you a half?
Half of a lot of things.
How much have they paid you?
Has who paid me?
Silverhearth. You're a spy, aren't you? An infiltrator.
Maybe at one point, but not right now.
And he like angles the crossbow, and you see another one like kind of reach their bigger hand and like put it on the crossbow and kind of like push it down. And you hear them kind of call it and goes, Brother, if they wanted us dead, then we'd be dead. Look, got weapons. All kinds of stuff on her. Not someone we should shoot at. He goes, if you say so. Pardon, then, if you're not working with Silverhearth. Why and how are you here?
That is a good question. I was separated from my party, who is down at the gates right now.
At the gates? They've befallen those fools at the gates. Knights, the prince's cavalry. Like chickens with their heads sliced cut, still walking around bleeding. Your friends, are they human?
Not a one, I believe.
Yet are you allied with Silverhearth?
I'm allied to myself.
All right. You're not going to cause any trouble, will you?
Not at the moment.
Looks to the other one. Looks to the one on their left. Goes, all right. No funny business. And no drawing weapons inside the fort. Unless you're going to help us. In which case, draw all your weapons.
I do believe we are here to help you.
Yeah, good. It's been some time since, and they set the heavy crossbow down on the table, and you hear, pa-ting! And it fires a bolt into the wall just about a foot away from you. It goes, oh, I am not sorry. These things misfire all the time. So, anyway, if you'd like, we'd probably escort you down. We were just here guarding the door that is no longer up there now. How'd you break the door?
Just a little bit of luck and some fun little tools.
Could you fix it if we asked you?
I don't know if I've got tools for that. If you provide them, I'll try.
We'll try to fix the door ourselves then. Thank you. Harold, you see this like kind of like of the 3, probably the smallest of the 3 orcish men. Kind of look and go, yeah. He goes, who are you? Not the spy. What's your name?
Sorry, me?
Yes, you.
Oh. Morgan.
Morgan. Take Morgan down below to meet with the chief. He goes, of course, I'll do it. Morgan, Follow me, if you will.
Absolutely.
All right. And they start to head down. You reach a large wooden door, and you begin to be brought below into the proper area of Fort Pale. As you walk and kind of descend these staircases, you note that not all of the sconces along this area are lit. Only one every 3 or 4 sconces is really lit, just enough to kind of give that low light vision. Looking it over, there is an eerie quietness as compared to Fort Osen, where you noted a full garrison of individuals, a living, breathing fortress that had been made into a city proper. Fort Pale seems very, very, very quiet, and even more so, very, very, very understaffed. As you guys continue further down, back outside, cutscene. The group, you all see a large knight strode across a very mighty looking beast. You see it look, and it seems to bear the face of an eagle and the body of a lion with heavy, tall looking wings that are folded under either side. This individual kind of looks over to you all, gives a kind of a strange glare from beneath their helmeted head before unbuckling and removing the heavy plate-mailed helmet. You see a dark-skinned individual with long, kind of like curled hair, black hair, that continues down. And at their side, kind of in a small holster, is a heavy-looking silvered lance. And at their belt, you can see a small variety of, like, almost interpersonal items, we'll say, such as daggers and short swords. They look to you, and as they pull their helmet curled under their arm, they call out and they say, "Well, my dear friends, I'm Sir D'Artagnan Evecrest. Whom do I have the pleasure of addressing?"
Good day to you, Sir D'Artagnan. We are Weavers Chosen. We are the Seekers of Galanti. I am Belithu Dalwynbay, and I lead this group.
Seekers of Galanti? Curious. Who sent you? Are you friend or foe?
We are friend. We are sent in a roundabout way that became a bit convoluted, but in name and order from your king, under the orders of
Harold Lemire?
Harold Lemire. Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Good. Good to have name and title presented. As this interaction happens, you see Sir Evecrest kind of look and kind of lean down. Those of you trained in perception can clearly hear. He goes, "Fetch my squire. At once, sir." And you get the feeling that, like, Vel having JJ present immediately calls for, like, oh, I need to make sure I have somebody that knows all the titles, all the names. I don't want to be, like, caught off guard. You immediately get that kind of feeling from this individual. They kick one leg out from their stirrup. They cross over this heavy-looking, again, griffined creature that they're rode across. And they hop down from this beautiful-looking handmade saddle. And you can see that while everyone else is kind of clad in kind of standard issue armor, there is a very heavy looking plated arm to Sir Evecrest's armor that seems clad in a number of almost like a like metallurgy scrimshaw look. That seems to depict a flight of griffin knights that seem to start with a sunburst on the palm of his on the back of his gauntlet that exudes all the way out through this gauntleted arm in a kind of flurry of almost like its own little tail that's clad and printed right into his armor. As he approaches you all, you see a very scrawny, younger man kind of walk forward, a backpack full of parchment and scrolls and flags stuck into the back of it, and immediately pulls out a book. And you hear, "Squire, write this down." He goes, "Yes, sir." He goes, "Sir Evecrest approached with gusto, with exuberance, with heroics. Heroics. The Weavers Chosen under the banner of Velithil, was it?"
Madam Belithil Dalwynbay, sir?
And you hear, "Okay, hi, Hi. How you doing? Can you? And he immediately their squire like cozies up to JJ, feeling that this is another squire, and goes, "Hi. So English is my third or I'm sorry, Elvish is my third language. How do you spell Belethil? Could you?" And you look, and there's all this like breakfast. Had this, was delicious. Rates it this out of this stars. You look down. Lunch, still waiting outside. Still no word from the capital, but keeping a brave face in the face of adversity. Like next day, and it's just the whole day's events journaled out for this night.
How nice is his handwriting?
You look at it, and it's not as good as Bartholomew, because Bartholomew writes everything in calligraphy, because that's just how he is. But it's effectively like probably a step up from a regular writer, but still very shorthand, kind of court authority, just to get the details in. And you look on like the back side of his book, and you can see like this is like a field journal, and you would know innately that they would later copy this down into at the end of the night, they were going to copy this into like a big official manuscript.
Darn. Okay. She will just take her own pen or quill and write it down for him.
Thank you so much, Dan. Writes it down. Okay, so you approach. Anything else, my lord? And he goes, Yes, put something in there about how the sun was reflecting and refracting across my beautiful armor, and that the hopes of a nation carried hard on my shoulders. He goes, Of course, sir, of course. Why did I not think of that? He goes, I know. Yeah, next time, squire. He goes, sorry about that. And he turns over, and you see again this like very heavy like ebony hair, curled and coiffed over, and you can smell perfumes emanating off of this night. And he approaches and reaches a big, heavy right-handed gauntlet towards you, Velethil. He goes, "Milady."
Apologies, I would have to offer my left. I'll put out the left hand for a shake.
My apologies indeed. And he grabs it, and he immediately drops to one knee and like kisses the back of your hand, and then rises again, helmet still under arm, and he goes, "We thank you so much for coming to us in our time of need, but as you say, if the Herald Lemire has sent you, then truly this is of noble purpose. It is curious, however, as we have not released a formal report back to the capital city, that you would be sent instead. Might I ask exactly why we was chosen were hired for this instance?"
We were called upon to investigate some other matters, and then in our return to Silverhearth asked specifically to check upon things here in Kind's Plummet.
Oh, so this is a bit of a house call, a checking in to make sure everything is still to plan.
Checking in and to offer our aid if it is needed. From what we had heard and what we've heard so many mornings when we were traveling across the plains, this could use some assistance, perhaps.
Well, I am beside myself to admit it, that we could use a bit of aid, especially from able-bodied fighters and those brave enough to do so. It's been a number of days since the prince has begun his assault on Kind's Plummet, and we have yet to hear a word back from the front lines. I was tasked with acquiring a place to stay for our reserve infantry, as well as a number of garrison troops here within Fort Pale. However, it appears the local color has prevented such a, idea at this point. Might you be able to serve as the bridge between our two peoples? Or are you more apt of blade of hand?
Well, we could certainly try. I was under the understanding that Fort Pale shared a bit of neutrality in these parts, but as allied kingdoms, I would hope that they would be willing to offer at least a place for friends.
A place they have within their shanty town. A small collection of buildings, ill-fitting for members of lesser nobility and knighthood, of which we count many among our ranks, being among the prince's predominant forces. It is unacceptable, to say the least, to not have a fortified position through which we can plan, plot, and assault Kind's Plummet in force and strength. if you would be so kind to stand for negotiation, I would, of course, write favorably of you in my reports. And by I, of course, I do mean my bard. And you see the small guy is like writing down every word. He goes, and he crosses out bard at JJ, and you see squire get rewritten in. He goes, that'll work. We'll just fix that in editing. It's no problem at all.
Do you really have to write down everything he says?
And he you see this squire look at you, and then you have a moment where you kind of look at the squire's hands, and you can see these heavy bruises befitting like a ruler or like the backhand of a flat blade being slapped on the wrapped on his knuckles. And he goes, yeah, just it's my job.
I see, sweetheart. I see.
Yeah, you don't have any corporal punishment. I mean, you're not part of the military, so that's cool.
No, we're all a team.
Oh, yeah, we're like a family here,
Right.
And as you're having this small conversation, you hear like a snapping of these metal gauntlets. Here, Squire, pay attention to this. This is the first meeting of Miss Velithil Dowenvey and Sir D'Artagnan Evecrest. You cannot miss this event. This could be monumentous in the collapsing of the dark forces of King's Plummet, the assault, the reclamation of justice, the heraldry of heroics. There's heraldry of heroics. I like that. Workshop it a bit more. I think we can add some more flowery language to it. He goes, yes, sir. Of course, sir. We'll workshop that. I'll get back with other, and we'll figure. Oh, of course, we'll figure that one out. That's yeah. He goes, apologies for the rudeness of my squire, Miss Downbay. I don't mean to be so forward, but please allow us to greet you and allow you to meet the contingent of individuals that are still under my direct orders for this very important mission here at Fort Pale.
Certainly, let's have introductions be done then.
Of course. Right this way, please. And yes, sir. And starts walking off, and you see the herald, this kind of like squire, put this book, fold it, and put it into like a leather harness underneath their arm that's just inside their jacket. Reach back behind them and produce a large flag that has the city crest of Silverhearth still kind of prominent and displayed, and there are small emblems that seem to depict a large griffin and a knighted individual, and a number of these sigils seem to bear resemblance to the various facets and kind of acknowledgments of the armor. You look at it, and it's most likely the royal crest with this knight's actual like heraldry and accomplishments that have been woven into the flag itself. The squire begins to wave it in front of you, and you hear, "Make way! Sir D'Artagnan Evecrest approaches with friends," and begins to like kind of march along in step, and you see a number of the people begin to like look off, and a few of them kind of stand at attention, but other ones are kind of just like nodding their heads. Cut back to Fort Pale. Yes.
As we're beginning to step away and have found peace, I just kind of want to send a mental command to Aja and ask her to fly off and go look for Morgan.
All right. The hunt begins for Aja. Go ahead and roll investigation for Aja.
He's so smart.
Yeah.
Ooh! With a -4, that's a 15.
All right. She starts the journey. You see her like a little danger noodle in the sky, and begins to ascend higher and higher and higher to go to like anywhere in the tower that they can find an entrance. Morgan, back inside the tower, you're led through about 3 of the floors. You arrive at what you assume to be about the 4th floor, give or take, the 4th story. You have passed at this point a number of small rooms befitting kind of communal bathrooms, floors that have been dedicated to various small households, things you would have seen kind of also existing within Fort Osen. And each and every one of them seems to be very much empty. You're looking at entire floors that are as large as like a city square that are empty. a house or two with some type of decoration or note that someone has lived there in the last few days. You head further down still, you see a collection of areas that would have befitting a number of smiths, armor smiths, weaponsmiths, places to create small, soft inset forges into the far ends of the wall that all seem to denote that, again, this is first and foremost a military outpost that would serve to help facilitate an entrenched position in the area. As you arrive in the fourth floor, you come to view much of what you had seen in Fort Osen, an open kind of forumed area that seems to be befitted with a number of small desks, paperwork, things of that nature. And at this area, you see there are 10 rather large orcish individuals that are all sat around a big table, while one of them is dressed in a very finely crafted, well-tailored outfit. Their hair slicked back with grease, and they're kind of like grumbling and looking over maps and kind of like shouting back and forth and saying, you know, various things in Orcish. Do you speak Orcish? Okay, well, so we'll save you the translated version. If you get all of the Albed primers by the end of this, you can replay this scene and we'll tell you what they said. It's a Final Fantasy joke. So you all you make your way through there. You hear the person who's escorting you, Harold, kind of like give a shout out in Orcish, and then kind of after a shout back as the all 10 heads kind of turn and whip in your direction. Again, only a few softly burning candles seem to be lit around the area. You hear this individual from the table go, "Oh, so who might you be?"
Well, my name's Morgan.
Morgan. All right. I'm understanding that you're not a thief or a rogue, but you are, well, often one if the situation calls for it. A spy?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
For the most part. You say you have friends on the outside, is that right?
I do.
Could be useful. Tell me, what do you know of Silverhoof?
What would I technically know? Because I don't want to scroll through all my notes.
That's fine. You know it's the major capital of the Humanic cities. It overlooks the area of Ravon and is the seat of power for the current king of the realm. It is a predominantly human society, and in your time there, you've realized too that while they are, and I'm going to air quotes this, welcoming of all peoples, they have a very bloody history of conquest about forcing people out of their homes for the belief that Ravon is the holy land of humanity.
I don't know much, but
You don't know much, but you're here now, yeah? Of course. So, tell me, why has you come here?
I believe we were sent to help whatever was going on in this area.
Well, the term help is a rather vague one. What exactly is you here for? Because if you're here to help me, then I welcome you with open arms. But if you're just waiting to open them doors for them shiny suits of armor downstairs, we might have a problem with that.
And who might you be?
Oh, I apologize. My name is Chief Maxis Creedican.
Well, nice to meet you. And what's your role here?
Well, I am Chief.
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose my role is everything that I'm allowed to say, I says it, and everything that I'm allowed to do's, I does it.
Okay. And so you don't like the people coming in here with their shiny armor?
Well, here's my question before I answer that one. If you will allow me such a endeavor for you, yeah?
Okay.
All right. Glad we figured that one out. So, how much would you say that your loyalty is worth? if we had to put a number on it? Between friends.
It's a tough question.
I only asked them.
Loyalty to who?
Hell, we'll just put a general cap on it and say the King of Silverhoof.
Genuinely depends. I don't think that I've experienced much hospitality in his realm, so.
Not a lot of hospitality go around. No, that is absolutely correct. So, what you might understand from our people, long relations that we there have in, is the people that call the Oceanian Hills their home. We are people possessed of peace and love and prosperity and welcoming to all credences and, well, individuals of a divine purpose. We subscribe very heavily to religious faiths, of course, and believe that home and family and a proud, strong household is the right way to ascend to heaven. Hell, you might even say that our God tells us this every day that we pray. Now, we have, for a time, been what you might call friendly with a number of individuals from Silverhearth at the other end of a pointed blade. Now, tell me this. If yous was friends with a number of peoples for so many years and told that you were friends at the end of a blade, in the event you ever uprise or try to reclaim anything, I don't know who'd ever do that, and come along a loud voice from on heaven saying, this is it for humanity. This is the end. And then you meet a rather precocious individual out of these fields over to the east who says, the days of reckoning are coming. And if you just keep your doors closed, no interaction past that, then there may be a seat for your people at this soon-to-be new land. What might you do with that information? Hypothetically speaking, of course.
Hypothetically, it sounds maybe a little too good to be true, but.
You know, that is what I done thought too. And I thought, boy, Chief, there ain't no chance. Ain't no chance you gonna come all the way out here with your boys. And you gonna hold no Fort Pale, even though it's been abandoned for a couple of weeks. And you gonna drive off all them shiny suits. And then I done seen all the creatures what called out of King's Plummet. And then I got a report that the prince drove his vanguard right into the hole itself. And then I saw there ain't nothing but a couple of scrappy boys outside. And I thought, Chief, now you could probably hold this fort from a couple of dinguses, you know what I mean? So that's where we're at. It didn't help none that our dear friend, let's just call him the Mistwalker. That's a fun name for him to have. We'll call him the Mistwalker. Left a beautiful, and I mean absolutely gracious, present for me and my people when we done showed up here. Now, I've never seen an emerald as big as my fist until I came here, but now I has. And, well, if the money's right, as they say.
Does sound like quite a nice present.
Pretty nice present. So
You said you're here to hold the fort?
well, we just, what do they call it? I think the term is squatters' rights, right? We was here first. It's a neutral term. It's neutral. We can't figure out the locks. They're real complicated and such. You know, we're only, what was it they put out that notice? Bruno. And you see like one of the orcs has their fist on their jaw and is fully asleep, completely asleep through this whole thing. You see the chief walk over and slap the back of this man's head and go, oh yeah, I was resting my eyes. Sure you was. What was that piece of paper that they done sent out a while back, a couple years ago? The one you always talk about. Well, I do believe it's that people from Isgrad are dragon stupid savages what only know breeding and cooking. Yeah, that's about right. I do believe you're right. Now, doesn't that just butter my grits? Let me tell you this real quick here. You know, when you get to hearing these kinds of things, you get a little offended. But then you get to see these kinds of things, you get a little more offended. So I think that's where we kind of come to. We're just holding the door, and thanks to them, we're none too bright about opening doors. We're real dumb. And all these big, fancy, magical elven locks, they don't open the way they're supposed to, and we've explained it through the door time and time again. There's just nothing we can do, sir. And once our friend gives us the signal, maybe we figure it out finally. But that is to say, if nobody plays turncoat on us. You wouldn't be a turncoat on us now, would you?
No, not necessarily.
Necessarily. So, necessarily, speaking again in hypotheticals, because we would never openly say that we are opposed to the King of Silverhearth, not a one. But hypothetically, if we happen to maybe, I don't know, see that you get a portion of what's promised to us, and you inform your friends outside on the ground that there's just nothing you can do, and there's no way to get inside the fort, maybe we work things out hypothetically, possibly. We maybe take that baby and turn it into a reality.
Okay, hypothetically.
Hypothetically. You hear like three of the other orcs all grumble like, hypothetically.
Somebody does this for you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying it's a cut of the emerald? Or...
Well, they don't believe us right now that the doors just don't open. If they heard it from I don't know, I'm just putting words in the air right here. A well-educated, half-elven man that knows how to read Elven. We don't know how to read Elven. You know how these things go. That can confirm that there is no way to get these gosh dang doors open right this minute. And really persuade them of that. It would make our job of holding the fort much more easy. And we would just move along from that. We would consider it a personal favor. And of course, we'd cut you in on a bit of the proceeds.
I think that I hypothetically may be able to do that.
Hypothetically, maybe is good enough for me. And you see the chief reach out this big, heavy hand. Goes, we got a deal.
Deal.
All right. It shakes your hand so hard your wrist pops a few times. You can tell like underneath this big, heavy, like well-tailored coat, this individual is just like muscles and beef. That's all that's under there. And it goes, all right, I think we got to go downstairs, have a conversation. It's just about evening time. They're probably going to be asking for a shelter over their heads again. So we'll get you all set up through the arrow slit we've been talking to them at. You can explain the situation, and we go from there.
Sounds like a good plan.
Sounds like a great plan. I'd have thought of it myself, but since you put it in the works, I mean, you the real mastermind of this one, Morgan.
I wouldn't say that.
I would, though. I would say that. And I think everyone here, you can say how smart Morgan is, right? You're smartest girl I'd ever seen my whole life. Bit short, bit small in the eyes, but brain up there. That's all the body weight went right up to her brain. That's how I said it. He goes, smartest person in this whole fort right there. I don't know nothing for locks and no doors, so I'm just gonna have to wash my hands of it. You know how it is.
Okay, and how would I get out of here if I need to?
You need to what now?
Just to exit.
Oh,
through the door.
Well, how'd you get in here? I heard you came in through the roof.
I rightly don't know myself.
Well,
I appeared on a tower and found some stairs.
Well, that's a good question. See, the problem is if we let you out, then they know there's a way in. And not for nothing, the guy they got running the joint, he's got this angry ass looking griffin. And that thing can fly. There's really no excuse that he couldn't get in here if we let you out. You got any other way to get out? Like magic or something?
Not that I can think of.
Well, I mean, like how soon do you need to leave? I mean, we got food, we got ale,
We're here for the time being.
Well, yeah, we'll just camp out, have a grand old time.
Absolutely.
All right, sounds like all right. Back to floor one. Let's go. Wrap it up, boys. Here. All right, Chief. Yeah, Chief. They all move through, and you guys start heading downstairs. Back at the area, you all are introduced to a small sitting council of kind of the heads of the military. In this shanty town, much in the way that Fort Osen was depicted, you look and you can see all types of various tables, benches, chairs that have all been set up and propped up. The cleanest of those have all been set for the kind of like upper echelon of this military outfit. They're offered to you, and they're all those kind of like wartime field chairs. So they're just two pieces of wood intersect with like a long piece of leather strip and cloth, just to kind of sit on and kind of provide weight. And you kind of are seated down. Each of you is provided a tall glass. It's actually more like a mug. It's like a metal mug, full of like fresh water. And you see Sir D'Artagnan kind of look you all over and goes, "Well, I do believe this should be needed. Might you folks have any need for food or any other refreshment? You do seem as if your travel has not bore any ill incidents. Using magic, that is."
We were able to have a bit of a meal before making our way out here, so thank you for the offer, but we're quite good. I'm curious, as you asked if we could assist you in some negotiations here, exactly who is holding Fort Pale right now?
Well, it's a squire. Yes, sir. What's the name of the gentleman that's inside the fort? And he flips through. He goes, Chief Credence, sir. He goes, Credence or something rather. He's an orcish chief who has come far from the Isgrad area. We believe him to be from Thak, but he and his group have held Fort Pale now for a number of evenings, claiming that there are all kinds of manner of problems, and they're unable to allow us entry into the fort proper. We've been told there was a what were the excuses he gave us? It was let's see here, and he flips through his book and goes, the first night we were told there was a terrible leak of gas. Few days later that had been cleared up, but unfortunately there was a murder and they didn't believe that they would need to catch the criminals. Looks after the murder, they caught the criminals, and then they mentioned that as they attempted to open the door, there were elvish runes that had sealed the doors shut, and we are still waiting for the report on that. They said they're working on it, but, well, they are orcs after all. I'm not sure. Elven Locke, so he goes, Squire, I did not ask for your opinion. I asked for the facts. He goes, yes, sir. I'm so sorry, sir. Yes. Not a problem. He turns back and goes, so that is the stakes as we have it. They currently are dealing with a arcane locked door, and if any of you happen to have arcane prowess, the ability to open an arcane sealed door, I would greatly appreciate it. A few of our, fastest riders have made way back to the front lines to request a mage be brought forward, but as of yet we are still awaiting that process. So if you could help expedite such things, and of course come on amicable terms with the denizens within Fort Pale, that way we could station within it and again act as a leg onto this theater of war, sir. This theater of war. Brilliant. Write that down. He goes, yes, sir. Then we would of course see it on our way to thank you, and of course when the bards sing of this day, you will of course be mentioned with proper title and acknowledgement. A number of the nobles, of course, will be in court hearing about the prince's deeds of claiming a successful victory against this Montserrat person.
JJ
Well-
is scribbling little bits in her book.
Mhm.
It's not it, Jason. It's Monsanto Corporation.
Yes.
I went to drink of water, you asshole.
I got him.
Damn old Monsanto.
I was also expecting you to give that one. Anyways, I'm certainly willing to speak with them. I do have some arcane prowess, so if they would allow me to look at it, I could perhaps find an answer, but I don't have a magical means to fix it at this time. But I will speak with them. I will say I'm looking at your setup here, and it may be a little rustic, but we are on the war campaign, so perhaps fully holding a fort won't matter if some fools got themselves trapped inside.
Well, that is the thing of it. There are a number of rumors. Harold, bring this to me. And he goes forward and he takes the book away from his squire and he goes, where was the passage about the thing that we discovered? He goes, it's not that book, sir. It's this, and he pulls out a different book. He goes, this book, sir. He goes, right. What page was it? He goes, it was and you see the squire kind of like panic for a moment. He goes, 38, sir, 38. And he flips through it. He goes, there's nothing on here about that circle we talked about. He goes, oh, 42, sir? He goes, there it is. We'll have a talk about your performance today. And he hands back the journal, and the squire writes down like begrudgingly and is like, JJ, you see well over his shoulder, and he just is like, performance review scheduled for this evening. He goes, right here. And he holds up the book and points, and the book is very much upside down, and it's written in Elven. And he points here and he points, and there's a large depiction of a circle, but the runes are not filled in or scratched in. He goes, there's been a report that there is an arcane circle at the top of this fort. And should we be gained access, I can send a animal messenger back to Silverhearth to request additional reinforcements for this war campaign. Without such, it will take weeks to support the prince's plight. I like that word play. Write that one down. Prince's plight. I thought of that one myself. Goes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Prince's plight. Brilliant, sir. Brilliant.
Well, if I may, if that's the true goal, perhaps we could just negotiate for your use of that circle if we don't know the conditions inside right now. Maybe it's not. We'll just have to go to negotiations, but that is the true goal, to gain access to use of an arcane circle.
That would make it most beneficial for this endeavor, yes. We've been unable to reach our contacts and allies within Cydrix. We are, as of yet, unable to hear of any additional help that might come from across the sea at Medin. So at this point, we need this to facilitate an additional, Squire, hold on the region. Hold on the region is good. Well, we can do better. We can do better. He goes, yes, sir. Of course, we can do better. Yes. So, with that being said, yes, we need both of the station of my men company and the individuals of which I am charged to lead in the prince's absence, as well as the facilitation and utilization, you like that one? Picking up on it, of this arcane circle. Provided that we have it, then we can utilize it, send word back to the mages as they are, and of course, continue to receive additional reinforcements as well as supplies this far out, at a moment's notice.
Could I ask, how long does that animal messenger take and all that communicating take?
There's just a still face look, and then he turns and looks to Velethil and goes, am I to answer that question of your squire?
I was wondering, how long might an animal messenger take?
Oh, of course. Well, my apologies. I had heard something else, and what a brilliant question, and truly a beautiful question befitting a beautiful person. It would typically take around 24 hours. The small druidic and rangers that I have among my company are able to conjure these animals, and they fly a great distance back to the city, deliver a single message, and then cease to be. It would be around about a day, give or take, maybe 2, depending on the weather.
JJ will just lean to Vil.
I just lean to JJ and I'm like, act like you write that down.
I could do this so much faster.
You know, it comes to my attention that we might
JJ?
be able to...
Why are you pretending to be a squire?
I don't know. I have to play along at this point.
I just thought this was kind of fun.
This whole
What do I
time,
pretend to be?
you hear the lean in,
What
you
do you
go,
want to be?
go, yes, what are we intended to do? And Bartholomew's sitting behind you guys like, this is amazing. JJ, you're really doing a great job. Go get him.
We know where Morgan is.
We do?
We do?
Where
Wait.
is she?
A question?
What?
No, we don't. We don't know where
No,
she
that's
is.
why I sent Aja to go look for her.
How much longer?
I will send my focus through Aja to see where she is right now.
You see Aja, and is currently like slithering around the ceiling. Faintly, there is like some weird, very high action music playing through her ears, as she is currently crawling underneath a cardboard box, and there are a number of orcish people sweeping and looking right, and the box slowly scoots forward, and then you hear like, "Hey," he goes, "That box there the whole time?" He goes, "Yeah, of course it was. Who would move the box?" He goes, "Yeah." They both turn away from the box. Aja slithers out from under the box. You assume her to be at like the like second floor. She had found a way to get in through like one of the arrow slits in the side of the building. But yeah, you continue to hear the dun dun dun. But I can't actually say the song because I don't own the rights to it, and it's a Twitch.
She's still looking. But Morgan is either inside that fort somewhere, or she's back at Fort Osen.
Lady Dowenvey, I if you need to seek counsel with your squires and guard, then please do so, and we can reconvene at a later time.
Oh, no, it's quite all right. It comes to my attention that if you need to make contact with someone, my assistant, higher praise than a squire, by the way, here would be able to facilitate the communications. She is a capable spellcaster of such.
He kind of like, again, like a very well-groomed, well-coiffed beard, and he kind of just goes, How about that? You have a mage serving as your assistant, was it?
I'm a mage. I would need someone capable of being by my side.
Mage you are. Okay. Very well. Very well. Squire. Yes, sir. Put in a requisition for an assistant mage for me that can do your job but better. He goes, yeah, of course, sir. Of course, I will write that down. He goes, good. See that you do that. I should have one too. I don't see why. I stood at the battle of the barons. I've defeated the Ogren chieftains. I've reigned hell down. Never mind. Write that down. Put an order in for that.
It's a lot more expensive. Just be aware.
Money is no object in this. I work for the prince. So, with that, I will say to you, yes, if you have a way to expedite the process, we will look forward to that. But until a time of which I have these missing rune pieces, then there is no point to sending word at this point. At this juncture, I should say. The front lines have already sent away the request for additional aid, but it will be delayed for some time as there are a number of prevailing incidents in the countryside that have to be addressed first. As this has been the Squire. Yes, sir. Sorry, I was filling out the requisition for my replacement. He goes, yes, of course, keep doing that. But pay attention. What do I need? I need a word. The prince's plight. The prince's proving grounds. The proving grounds. We're good enough for that. The prince's proving grounds. Yeah. He goes, sir, I only have one hand to write with. He goes, you need another hand. This is her squire assistant, sorry, is doing everything, and you are making me look bad. Personally, you're quite making me look poor at this point. So I am so terribly sorry, Sir Evecrest. I'm terribly sorry. I was. I'm done with you. Go. I don't need your services anymore. He goes, yes, are you sure, sir? He goes, leave your books. Just go. Take the rest of the day off. I'm done with you. He goes, yes, sir. Sorry, sir. 1,000 pardons, sir. He goes, yes. See the Castellan when you return home. You will know why. He goes, yeah. Yes, sir. Of course, sir. He heads off and, like, pulls a few books, a scroll, the flag, like, sits down, and he just kind of, like, he looks for a moment, and you see his head kind of crane, his shoulders go forward, and he kind of has this, like, really, like, just sad look in his face. And as you look at him, he is standing right next to a very, very prominent elf in your party, and Buddy goes, I know those feelings, man. And he puts a hand on his back, and he's like, it'll get better. It'll get better. Don't worry about it. This is just one of those days, man. He goes, thank you. I've never spoken to an elf before. He goes, yeah. Good for you. And, like, you see him walk away, and Buddy, like, goes back and joins the group. He goes, terribly sorry for that. That is very unbecoming of the squires. Obviously, the school, the bardic colleges in Silverhearth are lacking for their new initiates and recruits. I will see to that personally, upon my return to the city as a hero, of course. So tell me, Lady Downvey, how soon and what compensation might you be entitled to for seeing this incident resolved on our behest?
Well, I can make no promises, so I can make no demands. I will speak to this Chief Credence and see what can be arranged. It would be my hope to be able to help there, but if I cannot, our group will have to press forward to assist directly in Kind's Plummet. But on this evening, you will have our aid.
Very good. And with it, I will not soon forget my friends. It should be just about this time that they will reach out to us. Might you need anything while you wait?
No, I think we're... Anyone need anything? Let's go look across the group.
JJ is furiously scribbling. Can she draw a very good portrait of this man?
Of this night?
Of this night.
Okay.
But she's gonna, like, then just kind of trash his face. Because she's so mad.
Like X's over the eyes and, like, give him a little weird mustache and, like, yeah, you can totally do that. Just roll a d20. I guess. We'll see how good it comes out. It's your notes, right? Like,
how good at how bad it comes out.
Yeah. A 2? Okay, so with a 2, yeah, you kind of, like, you don't so much get, like, this person's, like, visage, you know, but you get, like, you start the artist circle, right? Like, you do the circle, that's an egg, and then you erase the middle part, you add a nose. It kind of looks like, if you squint, maybe you would say that's this guy, but I think at a certain point you just get so angry that you just start immediately doing the doodle part without finishing the portrait. And so there's a lot of really nice doodles, but not a lot that you, like, by the end of it, there's no way to tell that that's this guy. Beautiful griffin in the background, though. Like, you nailed that thing. That thing looks great. But this guy, yeah, like squigglies on the eyes and stuff. As he does that, he goes, very good. Well, then, I will beg your pardon and leave you as such. They will usually put a small flag through an arrow slit by the main door. If you could just watch out for it, I will be made aware when that happens, and we will go together as a group so that we can discuss this issue with their magically enchanted door.
If I may be so bold, would you mind if I and my group handled it without you there?
Without me? It's a knight's duty to oversee the tasks of the field. It'd be rather unprofessional.
I just think that dealing with the same people over and over, no doubt you have a certain amount of frustration with them, and perhaps they do with you. A new voice, a new expression of what needs to be done being presented to them may be just what's needed in this situation.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay. Yes. Natural 20 for a 24.
All right. He thinks it over and goes, I do see your point. There is wisdom in your words, elf. Lady Dowenvey. Fine. Perhaps I've had a bit of a heavy hand in dealing with these negotiations. A kinder, more feminine voice such as your own might be pleasing to these orcish brutes. Yes. I can see that this would be the right course of action to go with. My squire will sit in my place.
You, just let your squire go.
I did just let my... Come back here! And he immediately, walks off. And the squire's, halfway down. He goes, Sir? He goes, come back here. I need you for things. He goes, you need me, sir? And you see him perk up and straighten. He goes, that's right. There's something that I can't do without you. He goes, truly, sir, this is the happiest day. Go assist these people in standing in my stead at this door. He goes, I just stand there? He goes, well, record it and write their story. That's what you do. He goes, yes, you'd be filling in for a night. He goes, I would be filling in for a night. Yes, sir, I will do it, sir. He goes, very good. I'm going to draw my bath. Thank you, Lady Dowenvey. I leave my squire in your care. And he walks off, and you see this big, heavy, good game clap on the lower part of the squire's back, and you can hear a kind of a popping, And you see this pencil-y human man walk forward. He goes, hello. Hi. I will be squiring for you, Lady Dowenvey.
And what's your name?
Oh, my name, oh. You see Buddy behind you, you kind of get the feeling Buddy's nodding, and a single tear rolls down Buddy's face, having felt this exact same thing. And he goes, my name is Thomas. Thomas Handland. And he reaches his hand forward. He goes, Sir Eve Crest calls me by the names of his previous squires, so it's been a while.
Well, Thomas, I welcome you to our company. On this little task we find ourselves in, take a breathe of ease. We're nice. JJ, I'm so sorry about all of that.
You see Thomas start kind of putting his books back in and the flag stuff back in, and pulls out a new book and writes on the front, and you see immediately JJ, it's written, and it's the tale of Dowenvey, and puts on annotations and notes and starts jotting along. He points a feathered quill at Celeste and goes, pardon, what's your name?
I'm Celeste.
Okay, and what's your role in this group?
Yeah, so I just ask you don't write anything down, okay? Just relax, put the quill away,
What?
maybe put the book away. Just relax, okay? Nothing gets written down here. Nothing. Okay.
You can roll persuasion or intimidation, your choice.
Ooh.
The camera freezes.
That's an out one.
He goes, right. No, of course, I perish the thought. And turns immediately and goes, so you, sir, and kneels down and does the thing you're not supposed to do when you're talking to short people, crouches down to Kobold Jones and goes, and what's your name, sir?
Is he
ma'am.
holding a weapon?
No, he's not. He has a quill and a book.
A squire Aren't they like trying to be a knight? Isn't that what their role
Mhm.
is?
Yes, they are.
I'll get up right in his face, like this far. Yep.
Yeah.
Where's your sword?
Oh, well, I accidentally dropped it when we were retreating from Kyne's Plummet, but no worries, I've been given a replacement. He reaches behind his back and pulls out a small wooden dagger.
Did you just say you retreated from Kyne's Plummet?
Yes.
And y'all let
heroic fashion.
Did y'all let the prince go in there by himself to die?
Yes. Well, no.
Yes.
Win
Okay.
the
All
day.
right. Cool.
Okay.
Wait. No.
Scribbling?
Hold on. No.
I'll let Harold Lemire know.
Write that down, JJ. Write that down.
Please
I'll
do
let
not.
Harold Lemire
Please do
know
not let
right
the Herald.
away.
Please don't let him know that the prince valiantly charged in the vanguard into the depths and sea of death.
So y'all are here just to kind of sit here and kind of dilly-dally and then say, oh, the prince couldn't make it.
Well, he was preoccupied as, again, he dove headlong into the sea of death. With
Correct.
much of the vanguard. We were in the rear. No, we were in the rear, and we were issued a tactical retreat. That's very normal.
Who issued your retreat?
Facing the prince while he jumped in.
Yeah, well, yes. So
Yeah.
the prince went over the edge, past the sea of death.
So you guys didn't
then-
follow who your commanding officer.
Well, we were, but then the field commander said to secure the rear ranks, and then Sir
Who
Eve
was the
Crest.
field commander?
Oh, let's see here. Issuing orders. Yes, Commander Crow.
Thank you. Huh. Funny that someone would outrank the prince.
The prince
good
was
to know.
technically out of order, as they were no longer. He was technically not at the time the predominant officer on the field. So we take from chain of command.
Okay.
Knighthood. Commanding.
So there's people that sit above the. I'm sure the king and the prince would love to hear that. I'll definitely make sure that information gets back to them.
Yes, of course.
Thank you so much.
Oh, of course. Yes, no. Please let them know you were following orders, as is the chart. Field commander, prince, technically ruling commander. So goes from there. So yeah.
I just can't get over that you don't have a real weapon. You're a squire. You're supposed to be learning how to be a knight, right?
I assure you, I am doing many things to be a knight. I am.
Thomas, how often do you?
I'm using Evercrest's voice. I do many things to be a knight. No, I practice. I practice with a real sword, a training sword, once a week. I've been focusing now on learning Elven, just because that is what we have to do, and just doing whatever my knighted lord tells me to do. I mean, it's real simple stuff. I mean, I wouldn't understand. I wouldn't expect a weaver to understand how that kind of plays out. You guys kind of work with different stuff.
He's still leaning down.
Yeah, no, 100%. While talking to you, he's like snout to snoot, and when he's talking to everyone else, he's doing this.
I'm gonna do like wrap my leg around the back of him and push him over.
Oh yeah, give me an opposed strength check. Just give me a strength check. I don't know that he can outstrength you, but we'll try.
14.
14. Please stop spinning. Please stop spinning. Do. With a -2, he gets a 12. Roll the 14. And you see him kind of topple over. Oh, sorry.
I felt bad for you for a second, but if you're just gonna be a fucking dingus.
What? Hold on. I don't know that word. What is a funging dingus?
Look, Thomas, you're not a squire. You're that guy's little bitch.
Well, hold on a second. Now, I am a squire, I went to school, and I went I basic knighthood. I've done that.
How long have you been a squire for him?
It'll be 8 months soon.
And you're still doing 1 day a week training?
Well, I had hands-on experience when we were at Kynes Plummet, fighting against the hordes of death, and I will have you know, I slew 2 of them before dropping my weapon in fear.
Was Kynes Plummet your first deployment?
Yes.
Right. Still don't know where Morgan is. Be right back. Like, send my focus out to Aja.
Asha back, crawling around corners and weaving around. It's been long enough now. Aja has gotten to the first floor and sees Morgan on the first floor, huddled around a cluster of about, like, at this point, like 20, 25 orcish people. And you see a few folks that are not of orcish descent that seem to kind of bear markings of kind of like just like hill folk in general. Folks that kind of are like much smaller in stature, seem to be possessed of about the size of Kobold Jones. You know them to be halflings, and they seem to be like just happy hill folk that seem to kind of like be cluttered around like the far entrance of the area. There's a deep voice that is currently speaking to Morgan, and he goes, "All right now, so throughout this arrow slit, we're gonna wave a flag. People don't come up over here, come talk to you. You be the focal point for that. I don't even need to introduce you. You just say I done sent you, and you're talking on my behest, right?"
Okay.
Well, we pleased to pie then. Let's go ahead, wave that flag. And he goes and hands you this big, like, wooden pole with a, like, what they say is a flag, but you look at it and it's like discarded, scrappy, like, cloth, and it just looks like whatever they had that was white that they kind of like just bundled and tied together to make like a little white flag. And that's what they hand you. And Val, you see this at this point.
Right, looks like... Wait, she's in charge of negotiations. Oh, we can get whatever we want. That's hilarious. Anyways, let's go say hi to them. I will make Aja disappear and then appear on my arm.
He goes, say hi to who? I'm sorry, what?
I start walking towards the tower.
Okay, we're going.
Celeste, if you don't want him to come with us, hold him down or something? He's not going to be able to stop you.
As you say this, Bartholomew steps up and goes to Celeste and goes, Lady Celeste, I will be more than happy to deal with this rapscallion.
You could do that?
100%. I know his weakness now. Mr. Jones has shown me.
Oh. Has he?
Yes.
I mean, by all means, if you think you can handle it.
I think...
JJ's gonna tap him on the back and say, "You got this, man."
Thank you.
Listen,
He's
I
got it.
completely trust you and have faith, and if you think you can handle it, go for it. Yeah.
I figured it out. All right.
Well, see it.
All right. You see Bartholomew walk up. Go, "Greetings, Thomas, my dear friend. I am Bartholomew Iridan, diplomat to the Seekers of Galanti. Nice to meet you." He goes, "Oh, nice to meet you, sir. I didn't know they had a diplomat with them." "Yes, this is very important. Tell me, what that book you're writing, it's very important to you?" He goes, "Yes, it contains the day's ledger." He goes, "Interesting. JJ, can you roll sleight of hand for Buddy?"
It's a 5.
5 plus your bardic.
Oh shit.
Oh, that's good. Hold on, I want to show this.
It's 8.
8 total. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Let's see if I can do this real quick.
How bad is this?
I'm gonna show the roll because I think it's funny. If it'll load it, that'd be cool. All right. So on my screen, he rolled a 4. He has a +1 brings him to a 5 for his opposed. You see Buddy go and reaches and grabs the book in one swipe. He goes, "Oh, excuse me." He goes, "You are excused." He goes, "Now then, to quote my dear friend Orville, ya yeet." And he throws it just over a tent. He goes, "That's my book." He goes, "You're going to have to go get it." And then starts walking away. He goes, "I'll show him." Walks back to join the group.
Can't believe you just did that.
I honestly
Sad
can't
boy
believe it
is the
worked.
strongest of them all.
Yes, when Mr. Jones tripped him, I realized that he clutched the book to his chest as if it was important, like a child. So, just had to throw the child. Oh, wait, no, don't. Anyway, moving on. Just walks away.
Good job, buddy.
Thank you,
I'll give
thank
him
you.
I'll reach out for a fist bump.
He fist bumps you back. Thank you, Mr. Jones. Without your help, I would have never known how to do that. And then he high fives Orville. "Thank you, Mr. Orville. Without your constant throwing things at people, I'd never thought of that." Just keeps walking along. And you see the squire just like rushing off, trying to find the book. He says, "Have you seen a book?" He goes, "What book?" He goes, "The book. Oh, damn it." Just rushes off. Eventually, Morgan pushes the flag out through the arrow slit and waves through it. Morgan, after a time, you look and peek out of this arrow slit and you see the faces of your friends on the other side. What do you guys want to do?
Good evening, Morgan. We're here to negotiate with you about something, I believe.
Interesting circumstances. I am also here to negotiate.
Oh, wonderful. We each have all of the power. So how are things going on in there?
Oh, we're doing pretty good. It's pretty friendly in here. We've got ale.
Delightful.
Will you pass us some? This is the ale.
The arrow slit is no bigger than a coin.
Let's pour it.
Yeah.
The small folded pieces of tubing for a funnel come out of it. All the orcs are like, "I don't know why she needs it, but give it to her."
It's part of negotiations.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that funnel from?
Oh, fucking technology.
Right, so we've got a group of your standard run-of-the-mill Silverhurst folk out here who want to make use of the tower for its arcane circle and for the lodging. So there's good reason that they wouldn't be allowed in? Some elven runes? Something?
Okay. Well, I hypothetically, and I'm going to turn around and wink. Oh, you're muted. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry. That's my fault. I didn't want to interrupt. So you see, as you peer through, Vel, you can kind of see like 10 people all scrunched together on the other side, like a good 5-10 paces behind Morgan, and they're all giving thumbs up. And you hear a bunch of them murmuring hypothetically, hey, hypothetically. And they wink and give Morgan the thumbs up.
I hypothetically can't open this door and allow access. Seems fairly complicated.
Right. Okay.
Is it because the humans are too stinky?
They're pretty stinky, yeah.
That's the vibe I got.
I'll say this though, if we can do anything for these people, this is a noble human, which would be just another voice in singing our praises when we are reported back to Silverhearth versus other noble voices that are maybe singing other claims about us. Just
I don't know. This kind of guy gives me vibes like he's going to be singing his own praises, and we'll just be an unnamed group of adventurers.
no, it was
barely
written
helps.
down. He's
Yeah, but written down as a journal entry that will later be edited. And
Wait.
the names will be removed.
Was it written down in the book that I threw?
yeah. You know what? Good point.
Sorry.
We have other more important things to do than this.
No. It's not the same book.
Oh, okay.
It is. It's he's got 16 different books.
Yeah, no, they all looked very precious though, so I wouldn't. Wing
He
it.
may sing his own praises, but this is how humans can be sometimes. They will have a little side note, and our name will be given praise. And that will go a long way versus certain claims that are being made against us by other
I mean, to be fair,
people.
sacrifice the prince. So
They didn't sacrifice the prince, they just ran away while the prince rode
died.
into battle.
Yeah. I mean,
We don't know he's dead.
Oh,
We'll find out. We're going to go there and see. Deal with
maybe
it.
we could just save him ourselves, and then we have songs about us. And then we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's the
guy.
goal. That's where I want to get to, but I also want other human nobles to be saying, oh, Seekers of Galanti, they're cool. We got a lot of problems with humanity, and I just want to be done with this, and I want as many of them singing our praises so we can just be away from this.
Okay, yeah.
oh, I was gonna suggest to burn this all down.
No, JJ.
Wait, the tower or the...
That's not a
Alien
bad
cult.
idea.
The
No,
humans.
you guys are. Hold on, wait.
Oh,
I thought we would pass that
Wait.
with the lizard folk. We weren't going to burn anyone no more. I thought
Oh, right.
we weren't
JJ,
going to.
is that just a knee-jerk reaction to being around humans again that behave like this, or is...
I think so. I
Okay,
think
yeah,
so.
It's
Because we-
understandable.
you
I
know,
think
like-
Vasler's hungry.
You just hear, yeah. And this whole time,
we'll
like,
get him some
Vasler's been
food soon.
sitting yeah, Vasler's just been sitting there, like, chilling and walking through the camp, and everyone's just like, our squire's got a weird kid. I don't know. You do get a little bit of the insight that, like, they don't know what your race's children look like. It could be your kid. They have no idea. It has horns. You have horns. It's furry. You have fur. You don't know. You know that humans don't see race. So.
Little JJ Jr. Little Lightning, they call him. Right. Oh, so the question to the group that is, are we just going to head off to Kyne's Plummet on our own? Do we not want to have any human backup? Because that is what we see ourselves gaining here. We don't know exactly what we're going into with Kyne's Plummet, and if we allow them to get reinforcements, they may be able to push forward with us. But maybe we don't want that.
Do we know that whatever's in Kyne's Plummet is bad?
Well, he's installing towers that's raw necrotic energy quite literally kills parts of the planet when it's inserted into it.
Isn't that kind of like what you do?
Yeah, but it's a lot worse than what I do.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I don't
okay.
really do that at all.
yeah.
So we're clear, Lady Downvey. If you could do such things, you wouldn't, though, right? Like, you wouldn't.
No.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
You have to remember, she doesn't kill the planet. She recycles.
Yes.
Cool. I'm just making sure. I don't want to have to lie.
Reuse, recycle, reanimate.
Oh, no.
It's no
Yes.
Necromancer Robber, if you know that one.
Oh, jeez.
You never heard that one? Hey, I'll teach you later. We'll have some discussions about how wasteful everyone is dying all the time.
I'm gonna take a
Anyways,
pass on that one.
I will not take a pass on that one. I would love to hear all about it.
There you go.
Okay,
So that's
fantastic.
interesting. Yeah, that's good.
It's just
Yeah.
interesting. I'm just
no,
interested,
it's we'll talk about it
scientific
sometime.
purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As someone frequently knocked unconscious, I don't want to have to think about that.
Belithal's TED Talk.
Bartholomew, you are a friend, and without written permission, I would not turn you into any form of undead horror.
You see Buddy reach down his pack and pull out the, like, 3 quills that he owns and snaps them and goes, "Can't write if you don't have a quill." Just, like, throws them on the ground.
JJ holds a purse.
You know, honestly, this just shows how much you don't want to be dead or undead, and I'm just proud of you for that.
Thank you. Really invigorated these days. The whole scary laughing thing is really weighing on me heavily.
Yeah, sorry about that. That's my fault. I thought I had that under wraps with this necklace that I got that would have stopped them from taking over my body again, but
I think we
apparently...
should talk about that for
Yeah, that's
sure.
probably something we should discuss.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I thought
Not
I had
necessarily
defenses.
right
I
now.
had...
No, yeah,
Morgan's
like
waiting.
later, yeah.
I just want you all to know I had defenses in place for that, and it's why they're so desperate and doing such insane things I didn't even think were possible. But sorry. Morgan.
Accepted. Yep.
Apology accepted.
Black guy's dead forever now, so
It's
who
just
cares, right?
another day.
What guy's dead forever?
Scary clown guy.
We didn't remotely kill him.
Well, that's
No,
bullshit.
I rather
We'll
like
do
that
it later.
idea.
I think he's going to be a problem. Got his
I-
arm, kind of, in a manner.
I subscribe to the idea of thought that he is completely dead and will never run into... Perish the thought, Mr. Jones. Thank you. Very good idea.
We will discuss that. We'll have a trip on the back of a beetle very soon where we can really get into it. But, Morgan, you're the one in there. What do you want to do? How do you want to play this?
Well, these lovely gentlemen are, from what I hear, hypothetically working with somebody in kind.
From behind her, hypothetically.
Working with somebody over there. So
Well, we do want... We all still agree what's going on in Kind's Plummet is bad, right? Like, it's not the threatens killing all humans. Like, whatever, who cares? But it seems a lot worse than that, if you ask me.
Yeah, it seems a little. It seems weird.
Maybe those guys know more about it.
Oh, could your friends in there tell us anything else about Montserrat? Do they know anything?
I'm gonna look over and
Hypothetically.
gesture the chief over.
Okay. The chief walks forward and goes, "Hey, how's it going?"
All right, chief.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, would you know any good information about Montserrat?
Montserrat. Oh, that's that loud voice boy. Yeah, love his program. Or their program. Whatever program it might be. They put it on first thing in the morning. You can hear it every single morning this far out. Been really appreciating it. They put music on the other day. That was this like wailing banshee thing. Tremendous stuff. Then
Missing so many good programs.
they did this other one where they were talking about a raffle that they was doing. That was pretty cool. And then probably like 2-3 days ago, they shared a recipe for piccabelly pie. Oh man, I do love me some piccabelly pie. Oh.
It seems like Montserrat has really expanded his morning show.
I mean, you
Their
knew it had the
morning show.
potential.
Oh, you see like this big eye like look through the air slide. Go, who are you? Where's the armor guy?
Oh, we got him to not come over here during this talk.
Oh,
We didn't need him here.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You must be Chief... Sorry, I don't think they got your name right. I'm Velas O'Dowan Vey. Who might you be?
Nice to meet you. You can call me. And leans into Morgan and goes, "We trust these people. Who are these people? Huh? Speak up. I can't hear you.
Yeah, we trust him.
We trust them. Why don't you introduce me? That way it sounds like I'm more official than I is."
I want to, but my spelling is awful.
That's fine. You say how you can.
This is Chief Maxis?
Maxie.
Maxie. Chief Maxie Critigan.
That's a Creedikin.
Critigan. Excuse me.
Yeah. I'd shake your hand and steal your coin purse, but there's an arrow slot.
Well, I can come in if you'd like me to.
Oh, fortunately the door's locked up tight. None for
No,
it.
I just need this little hole here.
You see the hand go up and cover the hole, and looks to Morgan and goes, "You didn't tell me there'd be no goddamn wizards."
You didn't ask.
Oh, Jabbo in heaven, I swear to God. I swear to the Great Maker. Oh, no.
Listen, Chief Maxie, the humans out here did ask us to request a few things of you, but I feel like that's not going to happen. I feel like you're not interested in them, and honestly, they're kind of a bunch of cowards in tin cans, and we need to get on with what we need to do. So mostly we need to get Morgan out of there so we can be on our way.
Well, I was done telling her before. Hold on. He gets up and like right to the thing because he's not sure how his voice carries. He goes, yeah, so I was telling your friend, Morgan, that there ain't no way to get out or in the tower. We do want to get her out. If you don't have a magical way to pull her out, she's too big for the other way out.
Did she get in?
Could she get to the wall, the exterior wall in any way so she could climb down like a spider?
Turns to look at Morgan and goes, she ain't no spider. That ain't gonna happen.
Try it.
I can help her with that a little bit.
Yeah, she done come up off the roof. Could put it back up on the roof.
Right, well, she can get down then.
She ain't gonna fit in the trash chute.
There's a trash
No,
chute?
she just needs to get to the side of the building.
Oh, then yeah.
Then she can scale it down.
Yeah, there is a trash chute. We put all the garbage. But
you don't need to go to the trash chute. I've got a solution for you.
It's tiny, maybe like a foot by foot.
Hmm.
You gotta break all your trash up before you throw it out.
So I guess I'm just going to present an opportunity here because these humans asked me to, and I feel like I have to go back to them and say, well, I tried. Any interest in allowing them to use the teleportation circle on the top of this building?
Respectfully?
Of course.
Yeah, respectfully, fuck that.
Certainly. You could kind of demand whatever you want from them.
I could, but I'm getting paid pretty well right now, so I'm pretty good.
That's just what I wanted to check because I do have to say that I tried.
That's right. I understand. As a business type individual myself, I don't think you tried real hard, and we came to a number of conclusions, and we came to
There's just so many difficulties, and the arcane locks on the other side of this door that no one can solve.
No one can solve. No. At all.
Obviously, we can't even see him, so
can't even view him. Nothing to be done about it.
That's unfortunate.
You prepared the wrong magic today. I don't have the magic. You can only.
So actually, I literally don't. It's hilarious.
That's what I'm saying. Hypothetically, you can't even do it. You know.
Right. Yeah, we should.
Can I ask a hypothetical question?
Hypothetical question. You can ask any hypothetical you'd like, lady. You hold on.
Hi.
You is a lady, right? All right, cool.
Thanks.
Sorry. People are
Thanks,
sensitive to that, so I don't want to make sure.
For sure. No doubt. So hypothetically, if somebody were going to pay you to secure a, a nice big building.
Yep.
Why would they do that, and who would they be?
Hypothetically, I would not be inclined to answer such a question based on the virtues and bylaws of the agreement that I had then thusly arranged. He elbows Morgan and goes, that's lawyer talk.
Real fancy.
Thank you. I practiced it all morning.
Hypothetically, how much would they be paying you?
Hypothetically, I don't see how that would be any of your business.
Just wondering how much I could charge if somebody hypothetically came to me and asked me to do the same thing.
Hypothetically, if yous had a garrison of your own tough boys and you was going to hold a neutral fortress, effectively taking it over before people arrived at it, you could charge whatever you'd want. Yeah. But I gotta say, I wouldn't settle for anything less than maybe like your boy's weight in jewels, minimum. I mean, you'd be at this juncture, hypothetically, you might be accused of, going against the king. You probably don't want to do that. Hypothetically. And again, from background, you just hear hypothetically. Hypothetically. So, you know, but don't worry about that. You folks on the outside, leave everything to us folks on the inside. We'll get your girl to the roof. You can morph her into a spider or whatever.
Something like that.
All right. Cool. Well, sounds like we got an arrangement then. You tell your people that my people can't do nothing about it. Unfortunate. And we'll get your girl to the roof, as soon as can be.
Sounds good. Morgan, you good with that?
Absolutely.
All right. Get back on track and take care of what we need to finish. Get out of these damn lands.
All right. Good talk. He does the big clap. Yeah, good talk with that. As he does so, he kind of like motions over and like brings Morgan a little bit of the way. And you're surrounded by this group of like 10 orcish individuals. He goes, Jameson. Oh yeah, Chief. He goes, fair lady. He goes, all right, Chief. He goes, for your services. And he hands over a small bag, and it's like you feel it, and there's like definitely like some weight, a couple pounds in the bag. He goes, all right. You ever come back here? You help us out again. There'll be some more, bird seed in it for you.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Hey.
And I'm gonna open it.
Hypothetically, we didn't do anything. You look inside of it. There's like a few smatterings of coins, gold and silver. Then there is there's a single emerald about the size of Chunkini's head that's in there. And there are a few small, precious, semi-precious stones that are laid inside the bag. Hypothetically, because this never happened, but we would, of course, look favorably on you.
Hypothetically, it would have been fun doing business with you.
It would have been great. I'm so sorry we couldn't come to an arrangement.
Really unfortunate.
However, I'll say it here: if you ever find yourself in Isgrad, come look me up. Bit of a business owner down there.
I'll keep that in mind.
Well, you done see yourself out? You know where the stairs are. Jameson, lead her up to the stairs. He goes, all right, I will. Hypothetically, if there was an opening at the top of the stairs, I'll lead her to it. Because hypothetically, I would thank you for such an endeavor. Because very good. And they start leading you up. At this, it's already 9. Let's go ahead and take we'll do 5 minutes, right? Seem good? Take a little 5-minute break. Come back. We'll be back at let's shoot for 9:07, 9:10, somewhere in there. We'll figure it out. But yeah, let's take a break here. And folks, we will be right back with even more Second Wake. Until then, peace. Hey, look at that. We're back. Hey, how y'all doing? Hey. Hi. If you stuck with us after the break, we thank you. We're back. I'm Karim Zamir. Those are Ziggy Zaglante. If you're still here, you're probably a level 20 character. So thank you so much for sticking with us, you level 20 character. If you're watching this and you didn't stick with us at twitch.tv/Karim Zamir, then I don't know, you're a Wake watcher and you should join our Discord and do all that other stuff. It's all in the it's in the doobly doo on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube. Thanks for checking us out, and thanks for watching the rebroadcast. Anyway, when we last left, the group had facilitated a number of interesting issues between the Knights Brigade of Silverhearth, the remnants of this force that is away from the front lines of Kyne's Plummet, and of course the denizens and currently occupants of Fort Pale, being an orcish tribe being led from an individual who is from Isgrad Thalik, far to the south. They have been told, Morgan has been told, specifically that these orcs were contacted and almost hired on in a way from a Mistwalker, as they so call them, to hold the fort and kind of not allow it to fall under human control and allow them to garrison troops there. And they have hypothetically agreed to this deal, if a deal did exist, and hypothetically if they had crates of emeralds that were given to them, hypothetically. But yeah, so we pick right back up right where we left off. Morgan, you are shown to the top again. The few orcs have tried to kind of like reaffix this door to the top, and you look and they've kind of just piled things up there. So it takes a few minutes. At this point, you guys would have been able to take a short rest if you so need to. It's probably going to take about an hour or so for them to unclog the roof that they just clogged up. And then seeing this, they're going to be told how to fix this door eventually. But Morgan, yeah, you're put on top of the tower. What is it that you guys wanted to do?
I will send Aja up to land on Morgan, and then I will cast Spider Climb through my familiar.
All right. You feel the touch of Aja evoke witchy-like wizardy magic atop you. You feel the tips of your fingers begin to turn a bit numb, and then you can suddenly feel even more as small fiber-like hairs begin to form at the tips of your fingers. You feel your toes begin to push through this fibrous material through the fronts and backs of your boots, and you feel that, given the chance, you could scale down this tower like nobody's business.
I'm gonna scale down the tower.
Okay. I'm going to assume that you want to do so stealthily and not in clear view of everyone who is down below in the shantytown.
I mean, you could do it just on your feet and just literally walk straight down it if you really want to put a show of it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to show off, you can show off. If you don't want to show off and you want to hide so that no one ever knew you were up there, you can do it a different way. But it's up to you.
Let's keep it a little sneaky, just in case.
Yeah, go ahead and roll stealth.
Just reminds me of when Dracula climbs down the tower.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 10.
A 10. You start making your way down. You feel good about it. You see a few people in the camp. You can hear them as they start gasping and pointing. What's that? What's that up there on the tower? Something. There's a dark mark moving down the pale stone. Seekers of Galante, you hear this among the people. Is there anything you guys want to do?
How far down the tower is she?
In one move action, I think she makes it 40 feet, so she's only like 3 stories up in like one swift move.
So I could be within 30 feet of her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can I cast Reduce?
Sure. Yeah. She turns into a small, almost flea-like state, makes it to the ground. A few people are like confused, like, "What? Where did it go? Where did it go?" You kind of hear Bartholomew speak up and go, "Oh, that was a cloud." Yeah, pretty sure that was a cloud. And people are like looking very confusedly at the elf. He's like, "No, yeah, it's an elven cloud. That's why you didn't recognize it." Yep. And like a few of them are like,
very rare.
Like, you know, it's kind of one of those things where like I'm just gonna assume Buddy rolls, and they get like they like narrow their eyes, and Buddy's like, "So are we going? Cool, great, okay, great. I want to get the heck out of here." So it's like walking with everybody.
Yeah, I'm super cool if we don't want to like camp here.
Morgan, you rejoin the party as a small flea, and then I'm assuming the spell is released, and you're just hanging out with your friends again.
Yeah, I'll release it.
All right.
No, I wasn't thinking we'd want to stay here. I think we will have to inform our dear friend of how precarious a situation this is, that we cannot assist with it, but we need to make our way to assisting who actually needs it. We can hold it over his head. They ran away from helping the prince if we need to. So, let's go say goodbye to him and start making our way. I don't want to summon our beetle until we're out of sight of these folks.
Should we do whatever JJ's mumbo-jumbo magic is to tell them, so that if we need reinforcements, we can get them?
Oh no, I wasn't actually gonna get them reinforcements.
It wouldn't actually really. They wanted the circle to actually teleport people here immediately, so it wasn't. That's why that offer didn't even hold much weight to him.
Yeah.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But since I won't be doing that, I can make us a nice little shelter tonight to sleep in. So
That's always convenient. Right, let's go say our goodbyes then and wish him the best of luck in holding the outside of this fort.
Okay. You guys arrive to kind of the nicer of the shantytown buildings. You see a pair of armed guard either side of this door. They hold their hands up and go, "Halt! Who approaches?"
Madame Dallenbay approaches.
Madame Downbay. They rap twice on the door. You kind of hear talking back and forth about announcing you. Very well. Sir Evecrest will see you. Unlocks the door, like kind of opens the door and allows you guys entry. You see this shanty has been like refitted with like a couple of like 4 big carpets that are all interlaced on top of each other. They're kind of like just like placed on top to make the flooring better than just like a crappy shanty. There's been a few like set up like tent materials all along there. Maps are strewn and placed upon the area. You note there is a large tub that has recently been run. You can still see like heat coming off of it, and dressed in very pointed noble finery, gold crests across this like beautiful, and I mean absolutely gorgeous, it's like baby blue, almost like robin's egg blue tunic and shirt, is kind of sitting there, and you see Sir D'Artagnan and Evecrest look to you and goes, "Seekers, Lady Downvey, might I assume that our issues are behind us at this point?"
Woe is me that cannot be what I can tell you. Unfortunately, in looking into the tower, I have no answers. They will have to find it on their own from the inside. I would hope that you would continue to try to continue these negotiations with them, but for us to be able to find some means to unlock it would take too much time, and we must proceed on to Keen's Plummet directly, as your squire did make mention that the prince was left behind there, and we are in service to the king, so we must act as we've chosen. Go and solve this problem ourselves.
You can either roll persuasion at advantage or deception straight up.
That is a natural 20
Oh, okay.
for
Well,
persuasion at
so
advantage.
He looks you over, and there's like a narrowing of his eyes. He goes, "Nothing to be done about him. We've chosen." Yes. Very well then. Nothing to be done of it. I understand. If there's nothing that can be done by the great Goulintes, then surely I will excuse myself for delaying you of your required assistance to the prince's plight. We are all working tirelessly, as you can see, to amass a counterattack and make an assault on the front gates of that most abysmal, black, towering force, so that we may descend within King's Plummet itself and rip this Monsera man from his throne.
Of course, and I look forward to when you join us there.
I shall look for you on the front lines then, and we shall share in the great memories of war and battle. Might we pontificate? He thinks for a second. Goes, yes, pontificate, yes. About the greater things in life, once we might share them after this conflict has ended.
Yes, of course. Until the Weavers bring us together once more.
Of course. And, Miss Downvey, if I might impart a small token to you?
It is unnecessary, but if you wish.
Nonsense. Quite necessary when in the company of such great individuals such as yourself, please. And he reaches into his front pocket of this blouse and produces what effectively is like a almost like a small cloth coif that would be fitted underneath a helmet. He goes, "Take this of me, and remember fondly these memories we have shared. May it bring you courage on the battlefield, and until we meet again that you might return it, I shall remember you fondly." Also, it seems your kobold is coming down with something. You should get that checked out.
Yeah, he'll be okay. Just, I thank you.
Yes, and thank you as well for all your assistance that you were able to grant us.
I'll take the neckerchief and try not to drop it immediately until I am far enough away to throw it into a bush.
Very good then. Parting is, well, as they say, it's not a good one.
Well, every ending is just another beginning.
That is quite the quote. Maybe your bard will spin us a tale one day of your great accomplishments.
Oh, I'm sure she has many tales to tell, but we must be on our way now.
Yes, of course, I will not keep you from your divine purpose, O Weaver's Chosen.
And I will, with a light bow, make my leave.
All right, you exit the tent, this like cloth coif in hand, and up to you guys. What do you want to do? You're in the shanty town now. Bartholomew kind of looks over and goes, "Well, I think that went great. And you could do much worse than an anointed knight, Lady Downvey."
Oh, it was very nice of him to give me toilet paper for Kobold Jones. Let's go.
Oh, I don't think that's what that's. It's just like walking out of the tent.
Actually, probably use that right now.
That's not what that's for.
Here, let me swaddle
Okay.
child.
I'll eat it. That's great. So yeah, are you guys just like heading off, dropping the beetle and running?
No, I think and we'll just have a out-of-game discussion here. But
Yeah.
In-game, I was thinking we would kind of make ways a little bit and have a rest, and then after our long rest, we use the beetle and head up to Keen's Plummet.
I'm in desperate need for a long rest.
Yeah. So let's.
Hey, one question. Sorry.
Sure.
Do we maybe want to ask him what they experienced that caused their retreat?
Oh, horrible monstrosities.
Yes.
That's what we got. Okay.
Mhm.
Horrible.
That's
Sea of
actually
death.
every description we've ever gotten from there.
Okay.
Sounds like ghosts.
Yeah.
It could be an ugly puppy that could make that man run.
It's ugly
Probably.
enough.
So the plan is to make way out of the shanty town, out of sight, set up a camp for the night, get a long rest, summon the beetle, go in the morning.
Yeah, I think so. Everybody good with that?
Good. Yes, no, so. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Simple as simple does. You do it. You do. So you head out. JJ casts her. I'm assuming it's Lehman's tiny hut. Is what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Okay. I look at all the things in the area that I could fuck with you with. None of them can get through a wall of force. So I will blink. There you go. Yeah. Easy enough to do. You guys travel for a little outside of an hour. You're still kind of within visible sight of Fort Pale, but the shantytown falls behind the wayside. You easily cast a Lehman's tiny hut. All of you fit within it. It's cramped. It's small. Lehman's tiny hut is not a very big area. Everyone gets their own little 5-foot cube to roll around in because it's not the biggest thing, but it'll do in a pinch.
5-foot cube's pretty big space for one person.
For one person, yeah.
Yeah, we each have our own.
Especially for me.
Fair. So yeah, you guys, Cole Jones is like, I can stretch. Ugh.
Yeah, we got Orville too.
Oh, yeah, orbital
Chunky is
too.
taking up more space than the two of them put together.
Let's get
Also,
Chunkini lays splayed out with all 4 legs pushed out as far as possible.
while we're in this tiny hut before we go to bed, I want to try to bang out the
dent in your armor.
armor.
Sure. Do you have smith tools?
I do, and I have smithing.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a proficiency check. So it's your proficiency modifier plus a d20 roll.
That's only an 8.
Only an 8. You tunk, 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 and you hear a chipping sound. And you can see a small little kind of weakness in the front of your armor that you've managed to mess with a bit. It doesn't have any detriment to it, but it is not fixed. You kind of look like it, and you've turned a dent into like that kind of like bendy, warpy metal, and your hammer blows were not quite enough to kind of smooth it out. So you kind of look it over. You've not damaged the material, but you definitely have weakened it.
Would you like a magical hand with that?
Yeah, I don't want to mess it up. This is my dad's armor.
It's a little spell called Mending. It's very useful for such things.
So he takes his chest piece off. Here you go.
So I'll take the time, cast Mending, and put it back into proper shape.
Yeah, it starts bending, popping, and breaking as this kind of like black Icarus magic begins to pull tendrils out of the metal and slowly reform the shape of it. For the rest of you guys, anything you always want to do for Betty by time?
Hey, Val, since we're all here in this little beautiful hut, should we talk about what happened?
Oh yes, absolutely, we can.
Go ahead.
Some time ago, as we began our adventures as a group proper, we came into cross of some shadow creatures. One of them left behind a unique stone with several arcane properties, and while it was damaged, I decided to take it because I thought I might be able to make use of it eventually. We did not bow or kneel to these creatures, and they put a little curse on us. Most everyone was relieved of it, but I chose not to because they are creatures of Ardenum, and that is where the most powerful necrotic energies can come to pass, and I found myself quite interested in siphoning a bit of what they had for myself. So, I found a unique crafter to forge the stone into my little nub here, which a little bit of magic from myself can procure me several different arms of various uses. Bit random, but each one is useful. Well, the giant pillar of quivering muscles is kind of annoying, but it's still useful. Still, this directly connects me to those creatures who don't much like me. Although he did say they were impressed. That was kind of complimentary. I appreciate that. Oh yes, we stopped them, denied them from having a item that we were protecting at the time, and I decided to make their power my own. And there was a little incident where they were able to dominate my presence as I rested. I shot a black lightning bolt out of my arm that turned a dog into a horrible monstrosity dog. But then I got this necklace to stop that. And now in teleporting, it seemed they had a means to pull us through. So that was a new problem, but we'll figure out how to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Just not teleport.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just I'm gonna double in with Cobalt Jones there, Mr. Jones. We no more teleporting at all until that is figured out.
I guess it doesn't matter because he's dead anyway, right?
Who what? Who's dead? Oh yes, no, we're going with that. Yes, of course, yes. Very dead. Perish the thought. So dead. Never known a deader laughing thing my whole life.
Hypothetically, though, if he's not
Far in the distance. Hypothetically.
yeah, no, obviously. Hypothetically, though, if he's not dead, what's the plan here? Like, we just keep
We
you're
don't
attached
really-
to that stone, right? Like, that's not going anywhere, so...
I do not know exactly what would be required to remove it at this time. I would have to speak with the person who I had to fix it there. Though, yeah, it's a little complicated right now. I'm not really interested in that either, by the way. This is very useful. And I know that it has quite a bit of potential that I have yet to even remotely unlock. And so, what I like is just we gain power, we proceed forward, we help the world, and someday we will go to Ardenham, no doubt, and we'll face that thing head on. And if you're all afraid of that or don't want to, then that's fine. You can leave me to handle it if you don't wish to deal with him in the future. These are the things that I have chosen.
Yeah, we're a team. I'd go with you.
Well, I
I
know
mean,
you, but I'm
listen,
Celeste and
I think,
Jones
I
are
think
new,
we're
so I
all
don't
in
want to
agreement
force
that
it
we're
on them.
coming. No, we're in. I'm just wondering what the plan is next time we see him. If hypothetically we see him again,
Hypothetically.
or yeah, or
Hypothetically.
if you know if there's more, like this just one of many.
Well, if I'm
She
not
said multiple
mistaken,
beings.
his arm is one that I have yet to call upon, but there are 4 different arms, and most of you, JJ, you've seen 3 of them. We've seen the tentacle, we've seen the quivering mass, and we've seen the claw a few times now. That's nice. That's a good one. It's a strong arm. And so I can only assume that those creatures are also others of Ardenham.
Maybe it's like a Go-Go Gadget Extendo arm or something like that. That'd be
It
sweet.
kind of is, actually, especially in one circumstance. Although if that happens twice, that thing has a chance of being pulled through. We'll meet it directly then if that happens. Unlikely, though. Not really my fighting style. Either way, we didn't really try to fight him, and in this circumstance, he had to have a means to pull us through, something that we were able to break rather quickly. And I think if we do have to face him again, we just have to be smarter. He barely even landed a blow upon. He bounced off of both of you at certain points. He was smart. He came after those of us that he was able to tear apart a bit easier. But I think if we truly focused on him, we could give him a bit of a fight at least.
Well, he talks in rhyme, so he needs to get beat up.
Yeah. So we should definitely do that if we ever meet up again.
He's dead though, so don't worry about it.
But he is very dead.
Okay, cool.
But yes, I think if we ever face him again, we don't want to split up too much, but we need to make sure we put a bit more distance between each of us. His combat style was erratic and very dangerous to those huddled up like we were. So I think we're more aware now.
I think
Yep.
that covers it. Yep.
Let me be the first
I
to
will
say
s-
that I will happily abscond from any adventures into dealing with the other 3 individuals. I will cheer you from the sidelines. Or JJ, how far is the max distance of this crossbow?
I'd say. What is it? What did he tell me at the shop? Wow.
That it had good vibes, I think.
Yeah, it has good vibes. You could be like
For you, buddy, it's I get
pretty
like 80
far.
feet.
But yeah, don't be too
Okay.
far because if something happens to you, I can't help you.
Right. So if the max distance is 100 feet, I'll be right there at 99 feet away, ready to help you.
Yeah.
That's friend distance.
Now that's,
Yeah.
Closer than
that's
that,
all we
then.
ask of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't
Yes,
think you're gonna
but
hit
once
anything
again,
past 80 feet.
What was that, Mr. Jones?
I don't think you'll hit anything past 80 feet.
That's probably fair. Okay, so 79 feet. I'll be right there,
Hmm.
ready to aid as best as I am able. Because not for nothing, but he hit me really, really hard, and I don't know what happened after that. Really,
Well, you're here now.
but that's good. It's a good start.
we
You
got you out of there.
It's good.
And I am sorry. I'm sorry to each of you. I wasn't expecting that. And I'm sure they will likely have more surprises in the future. We just have to be vigilant.
Yeah.
But even if I hadn't taken this stone, they did promise vengeance upon us one way or another, so what's going to happen?
They did.
Really, it's just his rhyming that I don't get. You know, like I don't even care about anything else, but that rhyming, I was like, I don't understand. What are you trying to say? Just say what you mean and mean what you say. You know?
It's kind of rude. It's not really a crime to rhyme.
Just hell
What the hell did you just say?
rhymed.
Is-
You did.
It's the meme of the cat with the knife in its face.
Give my armor back.
You rhyming wizard.
We don't take your apologies anymore. Killer!
All right. So with that, yeah, you guys can set up a watch schedule. Nothing can break your wall of force. I assume you take watches. For those of you that participate in watches, you do note there are a number of creatures that come around the plains. They are far and few between, especially with a magical barrier that seems to prelude the area and surround and encase you, making sure that there's no way to see inside of it. It more or less looks like there's a darkened stone on the road. But as you guys kind of keep watch, you do note a number of creatures that seem to move about the area, many of which you've seen before. At one point, you do see a pack of wild dogs, and for a moment, they seem to blink out of existence and reappear several feet later. You look over and you can see other types of small prey, from bugs and beetles to birds in the sky, but nothing really seems to ever come close to your fortress, your little tent, your little hut, because at this level, yeah, it's the spell that goes, we're done dealing with nighttime encounters unless it's something scary. So no worries there. You all do conclude a long rest, so go ahead and mark it. Yes, Belle.
Well, at the start of that, can I roll my spider curse?
Yes, you can.
I'm good.
Okay.
10.
So yeah, go ahead and y'all make your long rest, activate it on your sheets. You guys get all your hit points back, your spells back, half your total hit dice that have been expelled back, and you are in fighting shape and fighting. So, as you guys do that, morning does come. You all wait deep into the night. You rest up and are rested well. A foot to the face for some, a hand slapped across the chest to the others. But you guys all make do with the very cozy, tiny hut, as it is, in fact, very tiny. In doing so, dawn soon does arrive, and you can hear from outside muffled sounds echo and kind of break through the peace. You hear from outside this from behind the force wall of which you guys are currently inhabiting.
Oh, I'd like to see that.
I would like to go outside and listen to the morning report.
Okay, so you guys are all heading outside.
Yeah, JJ will dismiss.
Okay, you dismiss. You cut in about partway through the opening. He goes, and you can bet yourself that is how it will go. Let me tell you here and tell you clear. Coming to you live from MMLR 660 Montserrat in the morning. Montserrat in the morning. Ah! That's right, you heard it here, folks. First, direct from Kynes Plummet. We're here to tell you the news as it is. We have, in our depths, a celebrity making their way to the studio. Granted, it's going to take them a while, but we welcome them with open arms. Oh, great Prince of Silverhearth, we so do welcome you here at the station. We're looking forward to all the great things you'll do in a face-to-face meeting. We're scheduling it for later this week. I'm thinking of making it a pay-per-view. That's something new I've thought of. I don't know if people are into that, but you might need a seeing stone for such things. Anyway, let's see what else we have here. Weather's looking good. Magical reserves are good, stocks are up, and investors in MMLR are going through the moon. Yes, yes, yes. Everything is coming up Montserrat. All right, then. Let's go to today's news broadcast. Has concluded. No. Marty, why is the script wrong? What do you mean there were rewrites? I'm lying. Just cut the music. Here. Today's music is brought to you in part by the Nine Hells. The Nine Hells. It's where you're gonna go. And here, boop, 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 followed by screaming the entire way through. You start hearing this very weird, almost like a synth or techno beat that is composed entirely of screams, yelps, and sounds of pain. And it gets into like full like EDM, like several beats per minute, crushing, and you're seeing like ooh ah ah ooh ah ah ooh ah ah. It's like this continues for several minutes, and it's loud.
It's experimental.
Not the best one, but it's got a good beat.
What are we gonna do?
Huh?
I didn't get the recipe.
Oh.
Missed
Well,
it.
wait.
That
no,
might be
can get it.
later.
we can
Okay.
get it from Creedykin later.
Oh, he always gets
Well-
it right.
Well, he
So-
said that he got it, so we'll have to make our way down to Isgard sometime.
But what if it's a new one? We missed it.
Did they say they had a new one today?
I don't know. I missed it. I
The
was
whole
like,
time.
Well-
Oh ah ooh ah ah ooh ah ooh
Well,
ah, ah.
there might be like certain days of the week. There's like recipe days.
I need to get
and
the
then
schedule.
I didn't
Yeah.
hear. Well, I mean, we're going directly to the studio, so
Should we be
We can
concerned that they mentioned the pay-per-view with the prince?
yeah, he's probably planning on killing him very soon. They either have him
Okay.
captive or he's still progressing through the spire. Maybe he's still making his attack. We don't
Yeah.
know. We'll know soon enough.
Oh, it's a maze.
Probably
The
something like
broadcast
that.
room is
It's
you're
definitely
probably
something.
right. It seems on brand.
Is everyone ready to head over there? See what this Montserrat really is about in person?
I mean, we might as well talk to him, right? Or
Oh.
try.
Well, yeah, but we do want to save the prince, right? I know you might listen. Humans are annoying as hell, but I do agree with the Herald's intention on sending us. When they see that a group of non-humans saves their beloved prince, saves them from this problem, we are helping him present to the humans of Silverhearth, to all of humanity, that they should reconsider how they view others.
You're right. The ends justify the means.
And while I do enjoy Montserrat's program, I don't agree with his intention to kill all humans. There's got to be at least 10% of them that don't deserve to die.
That's fair.
Wise words. Also, I'm digging this. I don't know.
It's good,
Kind of got
right?
like a, like I know it's technically pain and suffering, but like that I'm not suffering.
Yeah.
Only
Everyone
through
just
pain and
jams out for a
suffering
little
while. Yeah, it's
can you
like-
make great art.
It's not bad, honestly. Devilish, in fact.
Fiendish.
Fiendish.
Wait, I think I know these guys. This is 9 Inch Nails.
Yo, I hope not. I heard they killed a bunch of witches by impaling nails in them. So they called 9-inch nails. The whole time, Vasler's like, been a while since I heard this. It's good stuff. You know how hard it is to get a 100-person symphony for this? It's crazy. Yeah, they really changed after they only started using sinners. Back in the day, they used innocent people, and different sound, man.
Right. Does anyone have any other preparations, needs, questions? We all have a bunch of concerns, but anything else we need to go over before we begin our trek proper to this spire?
I think I'm ready to finally go.
All right.
Like, get
I
on
will
that beetle.
take out the spell scroll to access the secret chest.
Sure. You roll it out. You see this large circular scroll marking in this kind of like strange arcane rune. Activating it?
Yeah.
Okay. You wizards have, I think they do. I'm fairly sure you have this. You have it on your spell list. Not now, but you can have it on your spell list. So
If it's Liamon's?
yeah, it's Liamon's.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, Liamon's secret chest, you summon it. This big heavy set chest appears. You unlock it. And inside you see a single figurine and a rolled piece of parchment.
I will take them both out and close the chest, letting it return to the astral.
You see the scroll catches on fire and burns away. In your hand is this strange statuesque of a heavy-looking beetle rearing up on its back hind legs with these big, heavy mandibles clicking together. And then a piece of parchment that's been rolled up.
Okay. JJ, hold this. I
JJ?
hold the beetle
Mhm.
to her. Then I will open up the scroll and take a look at what it says.
All right. You open it up, and it reads, "To my dear friends." Curious to say that after what I've watched. I have observed you from afar. In our time traveling together, I know that things were hectic and seemed to get out of hand rather quickly. At least, that's what we look at in Wren's Fork. I know you had to do what you had to do, but I do feel a hole in my heart for what I had to witness. I've been informed that, should you all see reason, this will find you swimmingly. I have included inside one of my more favorite toys, and I hope it will serve you well, provided you have seen reason, and my kin has sought to it that you should be delivered this item. Then know that I support your claim, and I support all that it is that you will accomplish in your time. Truly yours, Mr. Gringle Sallow. P.S. If you ever go south of Flitwick Forest, try to look for a tree made entirely of bluegrass seed. Might find something interesting there. Or maybe just a friendly face.
Bluegrass seed. Honestly, it makes me feel so much better to read this. What we've decided to do. Everyone ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, were we given a command word for this thing?
I don't think so. Should I just put it down on the ground?
I think to myself, how do these things work?
They do require a command word. If you identify it, you'll have the command word.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let me just take a moment and look at it, and so we'll take the time, cast, identify.
Okay. I think I've sent it to you already, haven't
Let me check my notes.
I? I'm fairly sure I sent over the instructions for it, but let me double check.
Obsidian figures, a Karen crawler.
If not, I have it, but.
I don't see it in my notes.
Okay. It is for anyone who can speak Gnomish. I don't know if anyone can anyone speak Gnomish in the party. That's our new question.
Does anyone speak Gnomish?
Bartholomew looks at you and goes, "Yes, I do."
Ah, there we go.
It is he takes it and he goes, "Oh, okay. Yes. And as you you cast identify, your dark creature gives you the your mana gives you the information, and you tell it to Bartholomew. Bartholomew looks at it, throws down the beetle and raises both hands up above it and goes, "Magnane tu sakathimu." And you hear it go through and start beginning to crack and break, and erupting out of this kind of shell is this massive growing beetle that then becomes a size-huge creature, where once this kind of stone look to it was prominent. Now you see this heavy-looking beetle, sullen with these big, massive shells and the heavy mandible jaws that are now from the front of its mouth and its maw leaking a type of acidic chemical and burning onto the ground. It turns with an aggressive look and stares at Bartholomew, and he goes, and puts his hands up, and it nuzzles its head up against Buddy's hands. He goes, "Oh, okay. Well, it's friendly."
Indeed, you have command of it. Let's hop on its back and head on our way.
Oh, okay. All right. And Buddy switches to like a very high pitched voice and goes, you hear him go, going back and forth in Gnomish, and you see the beetle land to the ground. He goes, "All right, everyone on the beetle." And he climbs up on top and like just sits with like a leg drawn over either side of the beetle's neck.
Is he the mom driving the minivan now?
No, but now that you said it, yes. Guys got all your stuff? Hands and legs inside the beetle at all times? Kobold, I will turn this beetle around.
But I need to go potty before we go.
We're not making any breaks.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so proud of him. So assertive. All right, let's go.
All right.
Hop up on back of it.
You hear the beetle like, and it kicks. The thing's pretty fast. It goes about as fast as a horse, but it is a size-huge creature that doesn't lift its legs as much as it kind of like shuffles either side. So you have this like weird, like almost zigzagging beetle. It is a bit like distressing to the stomach, but the thing moves, and very quickly you guys find yourselves passing over miles of terrain. Being that its size is imposing and the fact that it's flinging an acidic, burning chemical used to dispose of corpses from the front of its maw, most of the creatures that are viewing you immediately recognize that's a predator, and that many will flee in your direction. A few hours pass in the morning. The sound begins to die down. You guys hear the station click over. You hear, welcome back, noble listener. It is I, Montserrat, in the morning. Well, it's almost afternoon. So, with that, we will, of course, conclude today's broadcast, and we thank you so much for tuning in. Tomorrow, we'll have our newest show, Juggling, and how it works. Tune in. It's going to be a real gasser of an episode. Thanks so much. And I've, of course, been your humble individual, Montserrat in the morning. Montserrat in the morning. Ah! That was great. I think, what do you mean? Why is the light still on? You hear, then you hear like a small click over and you hear, portions of today's broadcast were paid for in part by the denizens of Silverhearth. Silverhearth, maybe you're not so that bad.
So
Interesting.
no recipe today.
No recipe today.
Tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow.
Nope.
Tomorrow's juggling.
Juggling tomorrow, and oh
Mhm.
damn.
Yeah. So yeah, you you guys travel about a few more hours pass. It gets to about a little bit into the afternoon, and you come to view a very disturbing sight. You can see this heavy, tall black spire emanating out of the top. Really, just like the upper crust of thirds of it is above the kind of like ground line of Kyne's plummet. You know that the plummet goes deep into almost the Underdark, and you note that the entrance to the plummet is surrounded, and I mean truly, truly, truly surrounded. You see no less than hundreds of undead, zombies, skeletons, various like ghoulish individuals, all standing in rows and files, and as you can almost hear the sounds of it before you truly arrive, you hear groaning, chittering of bones, rattling around. You can hear ghouls hissing, and you come to view of it. Buddy speaks to the beetle, and the beetle slows down, and he begins to kind of like go wide of it. He goes, should I just drive us in that? Oh, that seems bad. That seems really bad.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You look at it, it's about like a small city's worth of people that are all just surrounded in a big, like, encasing the plummet itself.
Where did he find so many?
I tell you, there's so much waste.
Not that I'm also not impressed, but this seems like this is bad.
A distraction, perhaps. Something to give us an opening. Morgan, you have fairly keen eyes. Can you see where we might want to head in on this?
Can I see any open spaces?
You can either roll perception or investigation, your choice. Perception at a glance, investigation if you want to spend a little bit of time on it.
Can I help her with that?
Sure, yeah, you can give assistance, so you can roll at advantage, Morgan.
Yeah.
Whichever you choose.
Well, I got a nat 20 on investigation, so...
Man, there's like 5 nat 20s tonight. Y'all a bunch of bullshitters. Let me tell you,
Holy
I'm gonna take all your
I have the
dice.
logs.
I'm throw
I have
the
the
logs,
logs.
the receipts. I have
It's
the
my
receipts.
new dice who decided that
Some
I don't have to
bullshit.
roll
Some
natural ones
bullshit.
all over.
Some bullshit. All right, cool. So Morgan stands up nobly, hair blowing in the wind, puts a hand above her eye and goes, "Oh." She points. She sees a long open path facing the ocean itself. That as you guys are riding around, it's just about a half-mile's journey up ahead. She looks and she can see 2 very heavy-looking spears that are stacked on end on each other that seem to denote the entrance to this long path, and no undead are currently walking it.
Relay that to Vel.
Bit ominous, don't you think?
A bit.
Might be our best bet, though. Unless you do want to cross the hordes of undead.
I don't want to do that. The beetle kind of snaps a little bit. He goes, the beetle wants to do that. But I also don't think the beetle has a lot to lose, because I'm pretty sure it goes back to being a stone, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay,
Mhm,
yeah, no, that's awful.
Why do you think that spot's there?
I mean, it's the
Shit.
entrance. I just
Shipping and receiving?
can't say for certain we might not face some sort of attack once we step upon it or somewhere in that path.
Well, if it's a loading dock, then maybe I can go up there with my forklift certification and they'll just let me in.
Oh. You have a CLL? Mr. Jones,
I
you
got
have,
all of it.
you got so many skills.
I got all of it. Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm a working man.
Should I bring the beetle around?
Suppose that's the double side of this. We put ourselves at risk, but then we'd be able to pass the undead before they could encroach on us, versus putting something there to test if anything would happen. What does everyone say?
I'm down to give the seaside path a go.
Agree.
Wait. Or maybe the reason that the path looks clear is because it's filled with ghosts.
Yes.
Well,
Our ancestral foe.
ghosts won't be able to physically stop us, as we'll be able to pass directly through them.
Okay, I'm in.
Alright.
Right. Let's do this. I'll cast Mage Armor on myself.
Alright, you cast Mage Armor. The beetle rushes to the seaside path. You finally come into view after a few minutes of travel of these two heavy-looking pikes. And the pikes have these big, heavy banners that are on the sides of them that run all the way through, and you can kind of like get closer and see them being read. Two ogre zombies are currently holding each of the pikes, and they're wearing a uniform befitting those guys you helped on the road, kind of matching the station uniform. Does anyone read Primordial? It's okay, because Buddy does. Because he reads all languages.
Buddy does.
So, Buddy goes, huh. That's weird.
What's up?
Well, I would expect the banners to have, like, heraldry or anything like that. But, I'm having a bit of PTSD, I'm not going to lie.
What does it say?
Spit it out, buddy.
So the banners are the same, and from the top, my Primordial is a little rusty. It says, fun, games, celebrity meet and greets, fun for all ages and family, come spend your day the MMLR way.
So is this like a theme park entrance?
I have no idea. What's a theme park?
Like you kind of, I don't know. It's all kind of like themed around something, and you go have fun.
Never played skee ball before?
It's like a fair,
There
but
is
like a
no way
permanent
this
fair.
is fun. There's no way. Maybe for Lady Downvey, but I can't see
Thank
anyone
you.
else having fun here.
Probably killing zombies.
I mean, I'm not going to kill that many. Do we go on the path, or?
But we take the path.
I vote.
Everyone's in agreement, right?
I'm fine to do it.
I'm
Well,
fine
here's
to
the
do.
thing, buddy. Bartholomew.
Mhm.
Apologies.
That's all right. I understand.
If you don't want to go, now is the time to get off.
If I don't go, you can't move the beetle.
That is correct. You will tell it to take us forward, and we will take it as far as it goes.
Well, I've been running away from everything my whole life. That stops today.
A true hero, buddy.
Thank you. All right.
Warrior.
You hear him go, and the beetle starts walking forward. You see both the ogres, as you guys cross, like very slowly, cross their boundary, start slamming these big, heavy pole arms onto the ground. You start hearing stomping, doom, 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 and shuffling from all of the undead on either side. You start hearing bones breaking and snapping, and then you start hearing and you see a number of horns that have been made out of bones and sinew being blown from undead, and you slowly walk this long path, about half-mile stretch, all the way to the entrance to Kyne's Plummet. You look and you can see standing, like as it rises up, there is like a gondola that is made out of bone and sinew and flesh, and it slides open to either side, and you see a like a weird like living ogre who's standing there behind like this big heavy crank, and you see two individuals roll out like roly-polies, and they look you guys up and down, and they pop out, and you see them kind of like stand there, and they're in little fitted suits that are like they're kind of like bright pink with glitter all over them. The individuals have heavy looking antennae. They look to be some type of beetle-like demon creatures. And they go, and one of them reaches into their coat pocket, and the other one reaches into theirs, and they pull out these tiny little, like, almost look like made out of some type of rubbery material, and they go, greetings and salutations, visitors. You hear, hello. They start clapping, and they go, welcome to MMLR. We know you've traveled far to come and play and spend your day, so we prepared this display. And they start clapping, and you see them jump on each other, kind of like the beetle bugs from Bug's Life. And they go into a pose, and one sits on the other one's shoulders, and they start kind of like moving their arms up and down, and they go, we're super glad you're here, so now you need not fear, for the tower is a splendid place, so smile ear to ear. And you hear whoop boop 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 boop, and they start doing dances and like little like, this seems like a very practiced routine for the two of them. And then they start clapping again, and they go, if you want to meet the master, there's just one thing to do. Either tour the whole the whole station or make them notice you. We have some fancy things, some musical in nature. So come on down and play around. We welcome your free labor. And one of them reaches in their pocket and throws confetti in the air, and the other one throws glitter, and it just gets fucking everywhere on your beetle. And on that, we'll see you guys next week. Yeah.
I cast Mage Hand to clap.
What's the sound of one hand clapping? Well, if I cast Mage Hand, it's a normal sound.
This entire adventure so far is a nightmare.
Everything rhymes.
This is the happiest place in the everworld. Welcome to it.
Does everybody rhyme?
This seems like a thing to do, I guess, right? Let's see here. Yeah, we'll
Made
go.
a funnel cake.
We're gonna go to our friends in Quebec, because we haven't been to them in a while. All right, so thank you guys for sticking with us, as you often do. We appreciate all you level 20 characters that made the journey. We'll be back next week, same second week time, same second week place, for a wonderful time, or they'll all die inside of the tower of MMLR. Montserrat in the morning is an individual of great and mysterious power, and we shall see how that goes. So with that, we'll see you guys next time. Prepare the Goblin Raid if you're a subscriber. We now use Orville. Orville's a goblin, to raid these folks. And hopefully we don't crash their channel, because we tend to do that with Quebec. Anyway, good fishing in Quebec. See you guys next time. Peace out.